Papali's still at 1, but Yongi being back in means he may well play fullback. Here's a run from Hopgood. He's straight towards the 30-metre line here. And that all end of the Sydney Football Stadium. Souths in defence. Parrott on the attack at the back of the penalty. It's only half. Riley Smith off to the left-hand side he goes. It is with Papali, and he's tackled. 30 out, 20 in from the western side. 20 seconds gone here as Hopgood again. A big run, and he steamrolls his way into Jai Gray. Taken down, 15 out, northern end. Smith across into his captain Moses. On here, Iongi up that right-hand side. He steps in field now, but he's wrapped up by 3 South defenders. 9 out, right-hand side of the post. Blind side right they go last play. Moses, a kick up into the corner for Lomax. It was too deep for him, and it goes out over the eastern touch line, and it will be a South Sydney ball deep in their own end. Northern end, no score here, 2.5 played. South Sydney and Parramatta MC on the touch line.
Yeah, there's a bit of drama here early. Luca Moretti was coming towards the sideline. Dylan Walker had the first interchange card in his hand to come off, but as he made his way to the sideline, Luca Moretti turned and got back in to position with the boys. Now standing at left centre, so there's some concern with the Parramatta Eels lock.
Here's South's first use of the footy on this Saturday night. The right-hand side they go through Isaiah Tass. He's got Uibara ancestry out of his origins in Mackay. Open side left. And it's with that captain, Jai Arrow, one of 2 players who played every game this year for South Louis, which underlines their injury problems and their lack of availability. 25 out from their own line. And here's another big run, this time through the front rower, Saliba Havili. Tackled 8 short of halfway. Left-hand side, last play. Running kick from Jamie Humphreys. High in the air it goes. It's called down there by Iongi. He had in some space. He shrugs away 1 tackle, and he's met front on there by Jacob Host. 25 out, centre field here. Parrott on the attack. Lomax goes a big fend, but eventually is stopped out there on that left edge defence by Bailey Bentley Harpe. Parra attacking that halfway line now. Brought down 12 in from the eastern side, Dylan Brown playing centres, and now a straightening one over halfway this time for the Parramatta Eels. 5 inside South Territory. It's 6 more, so a full set now as it's with Junior Barlaw, and he's claimed 35 out from that northern line. First tackle of 6 here. Plays it now to Riley Smith. Off to the left-hand side, Papali. And now again tackled to that left edge. There's the ball carrier, Jack Williams, the former Shark. Smith, awkward ball there, coughed up by Junior Barlaw. And that will be another penalty going Parramatta's way. So again, deemed to be some ill-disciplined South's defence as Barlow lost that footy into Mamazoulis. So it remains no score here, Luke Lewis. 4.5 gone first half.
Yeah, well, early they get a penalty and they get a good opportunity to put some points on the board, so they've opted to take the 2, which I think is smart, because at the moment South Sydney are still pretty fresh when it comes to defending their line. It'll be hard to get across, but the 2 what I like about Parramatta at the moment is they're running hard, coming out of their own end. They're getting down, they're getting up quick, they're creating nice play the balls. They look like they've turned up to play Parra. So South Sydney have got to switch on pretty quickly.
Touchline, Michael Carianis.
Yeah, they certainly started faster of the 2 sides here, the Parramatta Eels. They're controlling that middle third of the field, and you just get a sense at the moment that South Sydney can't go with them. This penalty conversion attempt will just allow them time to regroup South Sydney and try and find their legs.
Zach Lomax, 25 out, 20 in from the western side here at the Sydney Football Stadium. Not a bad crowd in. The lower bowls mostly full. Some on the second tier as well. 31,000 here for the Roosters Bulldogs game last night. This little festival of footy, the Gadoo Gathering. Lomax, the first points of the game. Penalty goal, slight angle left-hand side. Flags are up. Parra on the board first. Eels 2, South Sydney 0. 5.5 played first half here on ABC Sport. Earlier at Lang Park in front of 44,000 people there. The Broncos 38 beat the Dolphins 28. And at Shark Park, the Sharks 54, Gold Coast 22. That win soured by a knee injury, quite a serious one we believe, to Sharks captain Cam McInnes. 0467 920 222. Jason from Coffs Harbour, thank you for your text. Jake from Townsville just saw the great Kathy Freeman here on the sideline for the Welcome to Country. What a legend she is. Yeah, and she'll present the Eric Sims medal as well later on alongside Greg Inglis, a great GI. So that's all still to come. And there was a massive run there from Luca Moretti and he went straight into the South defender in Jacob Host.
Back here.
And it's going to be deemed here that
Jacob!
Host put a shoulder in
Jacob,
already.
on report. He might be going for a HIA. He's stung himself, I think.
So he's
hold
made a bad tackle or a bad hit, and he himself might be coming off second best, Louis.
Yeah, I think Host is going in for a tackle. Then he sort of changed his position, sort of gets a bit of a shoulder charge, and then gets a head clash for his for all that sort of the way that it all happened, and he gets put on report at the same time. So not a very good 5 seconds there for Jacob Host, but I do reckon he will come off and get a HIA.
Not a good 5 minutes for South. So penalty count 3-0 Parramatta, and the scoreline 2-0 with one of those penalty goals from Zach Lomax a short time ago. Through hands it comes to Junior Barlow, plays it 5 short of halfway. Smith now here, little show and go from Jermaine Hopgood. On that right hand side, the run from Tuolangi. There was another one of the late changes here for the Eels on that right edge, the second row. Hopgood gets it again, put on his back in the tackle of Momazelos, who'll play it 35 out, 20 in from the eastern side. Smith on that short side now again. Moses through hands to Tuolangi, 25 out, 10 in from the eastern side. Play 4 here for Parramatta, who lead 2 points to 0 here at the Sydney Football Stadium. Moses, a jinking run, burned past one defender, stopped there in the two-man tackle. Momazelos was in there with Isaiah, Tass, as it kicks down to the in-goal area from the Eels, and that was from Papali. It'll go dead. So a restart from 20 and 7 tackles here for South Sydney, who trailed 2-0. 7 gone first half, ABC Sport, and the MC on the touchline.
Yeah, great work there from Alex Johnson, because it was just, that kick just rolled a little bit too hard, but had he got panicky, he would have played that and would have given his side a line drop. But now they get an opportunity with the ball, which has been a rare opportunity to start this game.
7 gone first half here. Mazulis from dummy half. On that short side now again for Jacob Host, who's still out there for the time being. On report a short time ago for laying his shoulder into Luca Moretti. Rummel upfield here on play 3. On a straightening run here, 8 short of halfway. Brought down, Bornall is Havili. Now to that right-hand side. A little dummy again, this time from the 5'8", Ashton Ward. Tackled 5 inside Parramatta territory. Momazelos, open side left. And now again, Jai Arrow tries to find the gap there between Smith and also Moretti. He's brought down 40 out middle of the park. Last play, South. Back to the right-hand side. The kick from Ashton Ward. High in the air it goes. Coming in, launching up down there was Xiaomi, and he'll play it out from his own line. 15 in from the western side here at the Sydney Football Stadium. There's the Fox, Josh Adokar, and he's claimed 20 out. So a quick run here, play 2, make it 3 now for the Eels, who lead 2-0 here. 9 gone first half on ABC Sport. Tackled and playing it now, Dylan Brown. Onto the right-hand side, again for Zach Lomax, who has kicked the first couple of points of this game. No tries as yet. And here's the early kick now from Smith at dummy half. He was inside 40. It's come there off the legs of Jai Gray, and he almost slips over as Moses gets him. 30 out, 20 in from the eastern side. Louis, South go back on the attack.
Yeah, it was. I know exactly what he was thinking there, Smith, but he just mishits that kick. He was going for a bit of a 40-20, but he just got the angle all wrong, and it did definitely come off Jai Gray's foot there, so it wasn't a knock on. But geez, the outside backs of Parramatta doing a great job getting out of their own end.
South's on the attack, play 4. Swing across the 40-metre line, now to the right-hand side, again involved Jai Gray. Onto the edge now for Isaiah Tass, and he goes the fend in turn there on Dylan Brown. Play it in from the western side, and now again Jacob Host straightens his run there into that swarm of Eels defenders. 5 inside Parramatta territory. Last play, Mazelos off toward, hurried kick, just wobbles downfield. Yongi chases it back there, attacks on the full in the end, and has an open space to move here, but he is collared coming across there. Tallis Duncan makes the tackle. So 20 out, 20 in from the eastern side. Para back on the attack, 2-0 their lead because of this man, Lomax, who's carrying the footy now. Offloads back to Moses. And now flat again as they try and get something going with Benson. He offloads out wide. Dylan Brown dummies over halfway. Tackled from behind by number and Isaiah Tass. Parramatta on play 3. 2-0 their lead. 10 gone first half. Here's Josh Adokar. And he's in the swarm there of Ashton Ward and also in there Isaiah Tass. Tackle 4 now is Papali. Onto the right-hand side, Moses. Iongi, right-hand side shape here. Big dashing run there from Will Bensony. Tackle 25 out. Good chase in the end there from Bentley Harpay. Right-hand side though again, dangerous to Parramatta Eels. Comes back now to that man Bensony. 9 out from that northern line. This will be last play for the Eels who lead 2-0. Plenty of space open side left. Moses puts the kick though back from whence it came. Johnston beaten by Lomax through the air, but Lomax taps it dead. And so it will be a restart from 20 and 7 tackles for South Sydney, who trailed 2-0. 11 gone first half on ABC Sport. That's on Michael Carianis.
Yeah, they're doing well, South Sydney, just to hold on at the moment. And Parramatta will want a better end to their sets at the moment. They've had a couple of opportunities, but haven't been able to build pressure off the back of their last play options.
Here they go through centre field, South Sydney. Hopgood comes across, makes the tackle in there on Tai Munro, who was named in the side, of course, as part of that backline reshuffle. With Latrell Mitchell out again, ruled out during the week. Now at dummy half, Zealous off here to Jai Arrow. 5 inside Parramatta territory. Play 4 now here for South Sydney. It's fed through hands again. Havili and now Tass. Shrugged away Josh Addo-Carr's tackle. Still going here. Making sure of it over ready in concert with Papali. 35 out. 20 in from the western side here. Second last play now for South. Havili back to his fellow front rower in Sean Kepi. Left hand side, Jai Gray pass to Johnston. He's too far from goal though. 25 out. He's stopped there by Lomax and also Anthony. So it's last place South. There was a few calls of held there from ref Jared Sutton. No penalty forthcoming. Last play kick from Humphreys. Across the goal. It was too deep out there for Tass. On the bounce it sits up for Addo-Carr. And they plough into him. He'll play it 5 out from his own line. Southern end. Eels 2, Souths 0.
Yeah, well, it's end-to-end stuff at the moment. I feel like Parramatta are on top of the way they're playing. They look a lot sharper with the ball in hand, but they're making good meters, South Sydney, and they're finishing the sets okay. So it's a real good arm wrestle here to start this game.
12 going first half here on ABC Sport. You're with Brett Sprigg, Luke Lewis, Michael Carianis for the third of our games on this Saturday evening. And now it's a little run from Lomax. Tackle with 30 out, 20 in from the eastern side. It's already second last play here for the Eels. Through centre field to Yongi. Now the break comes from Jack Williams. Over halfway. A couple giving chase. Takes on Gray. Birds past him. He's slowed down though. Williams can't offload. Tackled 18 metres out there. Good effort from Ash and Ward. But the Eels here last play run the footy. Moses off now again to a very deep kick from Dylan Brown, which goes over the dead ball line. Everything but the finish there from Parra, who lead 2-0 here, Louis. 13 going first half on ABC Sport.
Yeah, good work again by Parramatta coming out of their own end. Some really nice passes and a beautiful hole run there by Jack Williams. And he just couldn't get in the right position to get to his support players. So he had to go down. And then Dylan Brown, I reckon he'd be filthy on himself coming up with that play. That was a horrible kick and another horrible set end.
Another 7 tackle set here for South Sydney out of their own end. And brought down immediately 30 out from his own line is Tallis Duncan. The other players played every game this year, so only he and Jai Arrow has played every game this year for South Sydney. 35 out, midway through the count now as the ball does come here to Jai Arrow. Makes a good close contact game there on Barlaw, taken down by he and Smith, 5 short of halfway. As in this middle tackle of the set now, it's going to be Sean Kepi. They get a 6 more, so a set restart or inside the 10 metres. They'll play it now, 6 inside Eels territory. Zealous off to Avili, gives them 8 more metres. He's to within 35 of that southern line. Zealous starts from dummy half. Shares a left-hand side pass, Humphreys. On the bounce, it was awkward there to Bentley Harpe, and he's eventually claimed 30 out, 10 in from the eastern side. Dummy half, Johnston. Swings it open side right now for Humphreys. Still a few plays left this set now for South Sydney. It's run again by Jai Arrow. And he's putting his back 25 out from the Parramatta Eels line. South's on the attack on Zealous. Off to Ward. He's a very slight young 5'8 Ashton Ward. Off here to Jacob Host. He's brought to the ground as well. 12 out. This will be last play. South who trail 2 points to 0. Ward here tipped on to Jai Gray. And Tai Munro slams it down in the corner. Well, welcome back, Tyrone Munro. He's got Gamilaroi ancestry. He had a injured collarbone earlier in the season. He slams home his 6th try and his 10th appearance, and Souths have scored the first try of the game. 4-2, kick to come.
Yeah, they've had to hang in there, South Sydney, and they get their opportunity down the right end of the field, and they come up with a really nice little short side play and beautiful skill there as well. There's a really nice little pass there from Ward to fire out the back there to Gray, and then Gray Gray doesn't have much time to think about this pass. He just grabs it, nice little tip on. You can feel the pressure coming from outside him there from Adokar, and then Munro gets over, scores a simple try, and they're in front. 4-2, kick to come.
And MC on the touchline.
Yeah, great bit of work there from Jai Gray. Nice little catch and pass because Josh Adokar raced in off his wing to put some pressure on Jai Gray, and he missed his mark there. Josh Adokar allowed his opposite to go through almost untouched to score that try.
All right, thank you, MC. Yeah, played most recently a fortnight ago against Brisbane. Game they got smashed in 60-14. He's played, as I said, his 10th game this year. Saw him play a game last year in Penrith where he scored a couple of tries in a very awful week for his family. He lost his mum and I think his uncle in the same week and performed beautifully. There was a lot of emotion in the air that night, but he's one of the bright young things at the South Sydney Rabbitohs. 16 gone first half, and we'll see a sideline conversion here from Bailey Bentley Harpe. Last week he himself scored a try and kicked 4 out of 5, having debuted mid-year in round 12. So the Eels had the better of things in the opening 10 or so minutes, Louis. South have hit back here. And we'll see if Bailey Bentley Harpe can add 2 more points to the Tyrone Munro try. He uses his time. In he comes, right foot kick, wobbles back, not quite enough. It's waved away, it remains. Souths 4, Para 2. 0467920222. Chris says, I found you guys last week on the ABC Listen app. Thanks for the great commentary. Thank you, Chris. Enjoying call, says Francis. Parramatta Rachel, with the fact that Newcastle signed Dylan Brown to be a halfback based on that kick. Good luck, Newcastle, LOL. Oh, that's unkind, Parramatta Rachel. I understand where you're coming from as a Parramatta fan. Not that I am, I'm just saying I understand where your biases lie. 0467920222. Around the grounds AFL first half. Collingwood, in fact, first quarter, Adelaide. Collingwood 14 leads Adelaide 8. AFLW first quarter, Melbourne 7, Western Bulldogs 2. Back underway here at the Sydney Football Stadium. You're with Brett Sprigg, Luke Lewis, Michael Cariana. 17 gone first half here. Souths 4, Parramatta 2. And the Rabbitohs are on the attack out of their own end. And stop 25 out from his own line is Havili. Plays it quickly. Now bursting away from dummy half Mazulis, but he's met there by the marker. A little chase there from Hopgood. 40 out. Onto the right-hand side again now for Jacob Host. Placed on report earlier for a shoulder charge on Luca Moretti. On Mazulis off left-hand side now. Jai Gray. Zipping run here before he's taken down by Hopgood. 40 out centre field. Now Mazulis on the last play does find Humphreys. Swings that left foot kick across field. Adokar parks himself under it. Taken down by Munro, the try scorer. The Fox will play it. 15 out from his own line. Luke Lewis on ABC Sport.
Yeah, well, that's good work there by South Sydney. They scored points. They worked their way upfield nicely. Peter Marmazour's out of dummy half looking dangerous, and they get to a kick. That's what you want to do, and they come over a really nice kick chase, and they lock Parramatta down inside that 20-metre zone. So it's a good set after points.
Another run from Joash Papali. Signed a new contract last month to see him through to the end of 2027. Now a big run from Will Benson up that right edge. And he'll play it there for Riley Smith. A couple of plays left in his set now for Parramatta as Moses dummies and meets the contact of Palace Duncan head on. 40 out, 10 in from the eastern side. This will be last play, in fact, Para. So the kick goes up from Joash Papali. Down here onto the chest of Jai Gray. The South's fullback again. Shows plenty of zip, and he's tackled by Junior Barlaw. And also in there, Jack Williams, 20 out from his own line. South Sydney 4, Parramatta 2. Up that right edge they go again with the try scorer in Tyrone Munro. Plays it 30 out. Short side right here as Ward was dealt with after this fact. He got the pass away. It was Brown who felled him. Sets up dummy half again. Ward. Open side left now for his captain in Jai Arrow. Left-hand side. Went through the hands of someone out there. I think it was Jai Gray. And now picked up on the wing on that far side by Bentley Harpe. Plays it there for Johnston. Open side right. Back through hands again. Second last play South. But they can't really gain any more yardage here. 40 out from their own line. Tackled and playing it now. Callis Duncan. Amazelis feeds it back to Ward. It's a high probing kick down towards Josh Adokar. 20 out from his own line. And he'll use his pace here as he just bounced with ease off Jai Arrow. Still going Adokar. And he's eventually cut down 8 sort of halfway. Good run from the Fox. Play it there for Smith. It's the South Sydney Rabbitohs who lead 4-2 here against the Eels. Lomax, big fend up that side of the ground there on Jamie Humphreys. And the ex-Dragon will play at 5 inside South's territory. This is a good set so far, Louis, for the Parramatta Eels. Yeah, it's come there from Tuolungi. It was attempted offload. It's come off South, so it's going to it'll come back here and reset the marker on play 3. As again, it's with Dylan Walker. He's in the action now. First run of the game for him. Fed wide now to Jack Williams. Back to the right-hand side. Walker on the hop. Good big tackle made down there. This time by Tallis Duncan. 15 out centre field. Swung wide from Smith to Moses and now dropped out there by Bensity. And so it will be a South Sydney ball. 10 out from their own line at Northern End. Souths lead 4-2 over Parramatta with 20 minutes gone, 20 left in this first half. And there is someone down out there, Michael Carianis, who's just having a look on the replay now.
Yeah, Bentley Harper is down at the moment. He just, I think he collects the thigh of Bensity out there as he attempts to make that tackle against the hip. He collects and he's in a world of hurt.
Okay, I'll keep an eye on him. Thank you, MC.
He ain't coming back. I was going to say now, he ain't coming back. He'll be going off the field, and we'll not see him again tonight. That was horrible. Just watching the replay of him laying on the floor. He sort of froze up, and he was sort of trying to hold his head, but he couldn't get his hands there. So yeah, it looked horrible there. So I hope he's all right.
So, as heard referee Jared Sutton say, they get a replacement ready because he will be coming off, and that will see possibly Brandon Smith or Tom Fletcher coming on here for the Rabbitohs. And it will be Thomas Fletcher making his way on here. So, yeah, Bentley Harper coming off here for Bennett's Bunnies, who lead 4-2 here, midway through the opening 40.
Yeah, they're doing a good job holding in there, South Sydney, but Parramatta are doing an amazing job coming to their own end, but they're getting lost inside that sort of 20-30 metre zone when they're attacking South Sydney's line. A few errors, a kicking game at the end, come up with a couple of 7-tackle sets, and South Sydney are doing a good job getting out their own end as well, but they look a little bit sharper in that attacking zone.
So Souths start this new set, 10 out from their own line. Only a gain of 5 metres here for Tallis Duncan. And he plays it now, 15 out from his own line. Humphreys collected big time there by Kerwin Tuolungi, who play at 20 out. Fed wide back open side right. Again to Thomas Fletcher, who's in the game for Bailey Bentley Harpe, who Louis suspects will foul on HIA. Through centre field they go here, South Sydney. Sean Kepi scored a try in the Indigenous round game last year, Sean Kepi. Plays it quickly. Now a burst of speed from Jai Arrow. Makes the halfway line. Last play, Souths who lead 4-2. 19:40 left in this first half on ABC Sport. Humphreys' kick goes high in the air. Hangs there for a fair while. Lomax with a clean catch, and coming in there on him, Fletcher. Lomax will play at 17 out from his own line, southern end. Moses sets up from dummy half. Open side left now again for Bensony. Brought to the turf there by Sean Kepi. Play at 30 out now, Parramatta. Comes open side left. Fed wide again, off to Dylan Brown. Makes half a break, but he is tackled eventually by Jai Arrow, 40 out from his own line. This is play 4 now here for Parramatta, and now it's in the hands of Dylan Walker. He's sort of 29th NRL game, so a milestone beckoning for the former Rabbitoh who won a comp in 2014, Dylan Walker. As again they go right-hand side, Hopgood this time. 35 out from South's line. Last play Eels. Smith picks up Moses. That ball pierces the defensive line, but Johnston gets back there on the wing in defence for South Sydney. Almost forced back there by Moses, but he'll play at 10 out from his own line. Johnston, who is 3 tries away from Ken Irvine, and of course needs 1 more to go past him. Still might be some time away yet. It's 18 and a half left first half. South's 4, Parramatta 2.
Yeah, again, just going back on what I've been harping on all night so far is Parramatta's getting out of their own end so easily. That's the only scary thing for South Sydney. But look, at the moment we're still back into an arm wrestle. It's just who's going to break first. It's going to come down to a penalty or a mistake.
Yeah, quick set here, and no real gain for South, who were 25 out. Second last play. Brandon Smith in the action. Bounced off Riley Smith and also Barlaw, who play it now 40 out. And Mazulis off to Ward. Kicks from inside 40. Kicks too straight though, and it travels down there, chased back by the fullback Isaiah Iongi. And he tries to escape the clutches there of Hosts, but he's met there by Host and also Tass. 25 out. At O'Kara centre field run. Runs laterally here before he's met by 3 South defenders. South Sydney leads here 4-2 at the Sydney Football Stadium with Brett Sprigg, Luke Lewis, Michael Carianis on ABC Sports. Saturday night footy on the national broadcaster. Played now by by Lomax. Blindside right they go as Tuolangi receives the ball from Smith. Gains a few more metres here. He'll play it now back to his hooker on this second last play. Barlaw, and now a flat ball came to Hopgood over centre field there. It came from Dylan Walker. Last play, Parra, 40 out centre field. Burst of speed here from Papali, who is dispossessed. The ball falls here to Briley Smith. He puts in his kick. Fielded there by Johnston for South Sydney. Escapes one tackle. Back to his fullback Gray, and he's slipping away from Kelma Tuolangi. Eventually, though, he is stopped by Will Benson. 30 out, 20 in eastern side. Scooped up by Water Dummy half. Now to Humphreys. Good run here. Takes on the oncoming traffic. And it was good there from Yongi, who stopped him. 40 out, 10 in from the eastern side. Souths here, midway through the count, they lead 4-2. On the right-hand side, Gray. And now Tass pressing the Dylan Brown. And he'll be playing at 30 out, 20 in from the western side. It's going to be 6 more here for some lazy defence there from Dylan Brown. Still laying in the ruck. Souths here with a full set, 25 out centre field. Smith plays it. Number Zealous. Off here again to Jai Arrow. They lead 4-2. Souths has played 2. 15 out southern end. Number Zealous. Off here again now to Humphreys. On to Jai Gray. A little step there, but he lost the ball in the tackle of Tuolangi. And so all that promise there from South Sydney comes to nothing. And it will be a Parramatta ball, 10 out from their own line, southern end. 16 minutes left in this first half. Souths 4, Eels 2. MC on the touchline.
Yeah, Brandon Smith has come on as that roaming forward in the number 13 role, so he's had an impact as soon as he's come on the field. Just on Bentley Harper, it was a Category 1 concussion, so he's done and dusted.
As Luke Lewis correctly called. Not that you're taking any delight in these things, Louis, but it was correctly called by you straight away. Scrum feed coming up here for Parramatta. Mind you, should have mentioned as well, around the grounds, the cricket, that third T20, which you can hear on the ABC Listen app. South Africa batting first against Australia, 3 for 69. Now in the 7th over. So that's available on the ABC Listen app, the call of that game up in Cairns with Matt Finch and the team. Parramatta on the attack here as Smith sets up the dummy half. Gains a quick 15, now more, makes the break. Still going, skips up that left-hand side. Gray comes across the cover and he's brought down 30 out. Played there for Papali. This is still play 3 now for the Parramatta Eels. Moses a flungy flick pass back here to Ayongi, who burns away and scores behind the posts. That was their best set of the game so far, and the results in their first try of the game. So it is Eels 6, Souths 4, Parra kick to come, 14:50 left in this first half on ABC Sport. It's Luke Lewis.
Yeah, really nice try here by Parramatta. You know, the break from the start there from Riley Smith up the middle of the field. He looked very dangerous out of dummy half. He had a couple of support players back up the middle of the field. I thought he might have blew this try, but he tried to take on Jai Gray on around the outside, and then it was just really nice football from Parramatta. Quick shift over to that right edge. Mitch Moses just plays nice and early, short, finds Kelma Tuolangi in that beautiful little flick pass out of his right hand, and then hits Yongi basically on the chest, and he just has to run around and score under the post. But that is some silky rugby league there from Parramatta.
And MC on the touchline.
Yeah, that pass from Kelma Tuolangi doesn't get any better than that. It was a beautiful flick pass, just bursting through a couple of South Sydney players, and Yongi ever present. Great bit of play there from the Parramatta Eels, and you know, the South Sydney have been going so far defensively in this first half, so it took a bit of individual brilliance from Kelma Tuolangi to cut open this game.
Yeah, great run from the back rower, and Isaiah Yongi with the try. His first game back from a broken hand, which he suffered a month ago now. And this puts Zach Lomax directly in front of the post at that northern end of the Sydney Football Stadium. 0467 920 222. Loving the call, sitting in front of the fire. Ashton Ward is only tiny, but definitely punches above his weight in defence and effort. Cheers, Jack and Bonnie from Foxground, New South Wales. Yeah, certainly can't criticise his effort. Made an impression as one of those new faces that depleted South Sydney this year. Lomax directly in front, and no surprises here. He adds to his successful penalty from earlier with one successful conversion. He's 2 from 2, and it is Parramatta 8, South Sydney 4. Francis sends his regards to Andrew Moore. Filthy Phil, I'm a Tiger supporter, but I respect South, fought their way back and stood up, go the Bunnies, despise the Eels, sorry Parra fans. Just having a beer on the beach at Cape Palmerston, love the call, Boothie and the boys. Shout out to you, Boothie and the boys. And RJ in Radersville says, I'm not seeing $1 million player in Dylan Brown. Oh, yeah, it's a curious thing, isn't it, Louis, as far as his position now in this Parramatta team, playing at centre, where he's will be the richest halfback of all time at Newcastle next year.
Yeah, well, we can only judge him off next year. Not yet. We've got to wait and see what he does, but I understand what everyone's saying, absolutely.
13 left first half here on ABC Sport. Now the run for the Eels coming out of their own end, and that is made by Jack Williams, the former Shark. Played 25 out, through hands Barlaw. And now a low ball there comes from Dylan Walker. The right-hand side again. Looking dangerous out there is the try scorer Iongi, who's taken down 40 yards from his own line. Lomax now tries to just swivel his way past a couple of defenders. Tackled 5 short of halfway. Play to Smith. This will be second last play coming up here as Hopgood is brought in. Back now it's the last. 35 outs in the field. Hopgood brought down. Play to Smith. Right-hand side, short side. Moses off a couple of steps. Here's kick high for Johnston. He can launch and brings it down deep in that northeastern corner of this Sydney Football Stadium, where the Eels 8 lead South Sydney 4. 12 and a half left in this first half on ABC Sport. There goes Tom Fletcher again, who debuted 3 weeks ago in round 22 against Brisbane. And off to the right-hand side here for the South's try scorer so far tonight. The only try scorer in Tai Munro. Jai Gray. Oh, he burned past Dylan Brown. Shows good pace. Approaching halfway. Sends the pass back to Tass on the outside. He steps in field where he's taken down low by Papali. And up top, Iongi comes in as well as Josh Addo-Carr. Right near that western touchline. Still alive here, South in the second last play. Open side left, plenty of space there as it comes through hands. Arrow to Brandon Smith. And now Humphrey steps in field. Ankle tap there by Tuolangi. And meets Moses head on. 35 out South Sydney last play. Ashton Ward's kick off a step goes towards that southeastern corner. It's down there for Iongi, and he is brought down now 15 out, but referee Gerard Sutton says that it will be penalty Parramatta.
Don't do any more than 12 to him, mate.
Yeah, there you go.
Was it because of the Souths?
You're saying he was offside.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, is there any more exciting player when he gets the ball and explosiveness in Jai Gray? He had his last carry he got, he nearly made a full clean break. He gets another one just then, he does make a clean break and set up a try almost, but he looks outstanding at fullback. They've got to keep him in number 1 and get Latrell Mitchell on the field at the same time. I tell you what.
Para 8, Souths 4. Remind you, MC, it's career game number 30 for Jai Gray.
Yeah, he's such a damaging player. They've got to try and find a way to get him one-on-one like they had that opportunity with Dylan Brown. Just a second interchange for the Parramatta Eels. Matt Dury just cutting the ball up now on for Junior Barlow.
There he is on halfway. Tackled there by Jai Arrow. Play it now for Riley Smith. Looks left but goes right here to Walker. And now Moses to Tuolangi. Set up on there and slammed to the turf by Tallis Duncan. A little untoward, says ref Gerard Sutton. So he's going to penalise Tallis Duncan in South Sydney for that tackle. It remains Parramatta 8, South Sydney 4. 10-20 left in this first half.
Yeah, it's funny. I just feel like Parramatta have got so much points in at the moment, but it doesn't show it on the scoreboard. It's weird. They're playing so good and they're moving the football nice. They look really sharp out there, but they just can't get those points on the board. But here they come now.
They lead 8 for the Eels. 10 minutes left in this first half. Moses tackled there by Brandon Smith. 20 out middle of the park. Played to Riley Smith. On to Walker. And now again here is Matt Dury, the former Bulldog. Now he's third year at Parramatta. Will play at 15 out northern end. Smith off the right hand side again. Walker. Moses tipped on here. Iongi back to Benson. Loose man there. Lomax is all by himself. And there's nothing Johnston can do as Lomax goes and dives it on that right edge and scores the Eels' second try. 12-4, kick to come. Lomax the try scorer. 9.5 left first half on ABC Sport. Luke Lewis.
Yeah, I just feel like Parramatta have got so many opportunities to score points, especially on that right edge. They look really, really sharp. Mitch Moses has been screaming for the ball down some short sides. They've missed it a couple of times. They've got a lot of room down there. But this play here, nice setup. They play out the back. And then I reckon if Iongi could have threw that little pass a tad earlier over the top, Zach Lomax would have went in untouched. But then Benson, he gets the ball over to him anyway. He knew where he had to get it to. Zach Lomax sees a bit of an open line and just uses his speed, dives right down in the corner and gets a nice try for Parramatta.
Touchline, Michael Carianis.
So it's not as good as the Kelma Tuolangi pass a couple of minutes ago for Parramatta first try, but nice bit of work there for Will Benson. He knew he had to get the ball out to Zach Lomax. Got it out there late, but just in the nick of time for Lomax to crash over in the corner.
His 8th try of the year, Zach Lomax. I think he's one of those names linked to that Rugby 360 thing MC's been talking about. I think he's his name's come up a few times. That could well be something that happens. So he's putting the ball on the tee here on that eastern side of the Sydney Football Stadium, 22 metres out to add 2 more points on his own try here, Zach Lomax. Earlier at Shark Park, the Sharks 54 beat the Titans 22. And at Lang Park, 44,500 there to see the Broncos 38 prevail over the Dolphins in a 10-try thriller. NRLW winners today. Cronulla beat Gold Coast, Brisbane over Parramatta, and Canberra beat the Warriors in Hamilton most recently as well. Here is Zach Lomax. 2 from 2, 1 penalty, 1 conversion so far tonight. Here a loud chorus of boos greeting him as he's on the approach. Right side for a right foot kicker. Hasn't missed one yet. This is quite a flat delivery here. Waved away as he misses the inside. So Eels 12, Rabbitohs 4 here. 8:15 left in this first half on ABC Sport. Around the grounds in the cricket, South Africa are now 3 for 106, the 11th over in Cairns. And these names are nothing to me. Devil Brewis is 51 not out of 23 balls. I couldn't name you the South African team, especially in T20 at the moment. AFL quarter time. Collingwood 33 leads Adelaide 8. AFLW second term. Melbourne 21 leads Western Bulldogs 9. Your text shortly 0467 920 222. Goes down towards that 10-metre line there for Parley for cover. Feeds the ball back here for the hit-up. And driven all the way back in the 3-man tackle, and the footy's actually come loose. And that was an error made in amongst all of that, getting up to his feet. It is, in fact, Matt Dury. So, opportunity here for South Louis. They've been out from that southern line unless this challenge is successful.
Parramatta challenging the ruling of the knock-on. We're on no tackles, obviously, then to tackle one on the ground.
Interesting. Didn't get a real good view of this straight up, so hard to have a penalty, a proper view. But looks like
Peter Mamazoulis is just maintaining a tackle. He's not stripping the ball. The challenge by Parramatta is unsuccessful.
I can understand what they're saying, but he does have a really firm grip on the point of the ball there. And I can understand why they challenged it. They probably thought he did get pulled out, but unlucky there for Parramatta. They lose their challenge pretty early.
The voice of our bunker official Matt Noyen has spoken. Down at MC on the touchline.
Yeah, this is an opportunity now for South Sydney. I'd love to see Jai Gray, who's going to feed the ball out of the scrum. Cody Walker's actually just come onto the field as well, boys. So he gets an opportunity now for the first time in a couple of weeks to show his wares.
Who kicks for them? If no Bentley Hartbay.
Jamie Humphrey's still on the field.
Oh, yeah, fair enough. Great. Left-hand side of the scrum here. Darts back on the inside, but he's taken down from behind there by Benson and also Moses. Opportunity, that's, it's going to be 6 more here for South. So a full set now, 10 out from Parramatta's line. And they get there through Jai Arrow. Claimed the 2-man tackle. Dury came in there with Walker. Play it 10 out left-hand side of the post. And now Brandon Smith. Back to Cody Walker. Engineers the pass. Oh, went behind Ward. He couldn't quite retrieve it. And it's picked up there by Dylan Brown. The Eels are away. They lead 12-4. 7:15 left in this first half on ABC Sports. Smith. Open side right here. Josh Addo-Carr. And his run is stopped 28 metres out from his own line.
Josh.
Going to come back and reset play the ball here. Ref Jared Sutton. So, as they approach this midway point of the set, Parramatta Eels with Walker, who's heaped back by those defenders. Brendan Smith and Tom Fletcher. Arrow out there as well. Riley Smith now dummy half. Through the gap goes Hopgood. Shares it now with the Parley, who's run down the tackle and coughs up the football. Into the path now of Fletcher of South Sydney. So they're back on the attack for a 0 tackle, 35 out from their own line. Para leads 12-4 here, though.
Look like Papali'i got tackled, got the ball there, but lucky there for South Sydney. They get the ball back.
6:25 left in this first half. Mazzillis swings it back to the right-hand side here for that man in Jacob Host. Plays it quickly. Jai Arrow gains a quick 10 over halfway here. Meets Riley Smith head on. 40 out now from Para's line. South with Humphreys. Left-hand side to Walker. Darts on the inside. Too big for Tuolangi. He's dragged down there, though, by Yongi. He'll play at 20 out. Second last play now for the South Sydney Rabbitohs. And now Gray Off to Fletcher, put down deep in that southeastern corner of the ground. This will be Lyon. It's going to be 6 more here for South. Johnston swings the pass wide. They're 7 metres out from Parramatta's line. They trail 12-4 here, South Sydney. What do? Mamazelis goes himself from dummy half, but Tulangi's wise to him and stops him 5 out left-hand side of the uprights. Brandon Smith, dummy half. Off now, Ashton Ward. Inside ball back to his captain, Arrow, and he was flipped there in the tackle of Tulangi. He got in there. So it's a dangerous tackle, as we saw, and that will be a penalty, South Sydney.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate there for Kelma Tuolangi. He gets down nice and low, but because he's running so fast, he sort of goes straight over the top of his shoulders and just gets into an awkward position. I don't think you have anything to worry about. Penalty sufficient.
That's South's first penalty of the game, so it's penalty count 5-1 Para's way so far. Get to MC very shortly. 5 minutes left first half. As we approach half time, Humphreys straightens his run there towards his opposite number in Moses. Going to be 6 more here, so back to back. Oh, it's great work from Mazelis. Saw the opportunity, goes himself from dummy half and does score a very important try for South Sydney as we approach half time. 12-8 kick to come. It was just repeat ball.
Brian against McStay, there's Long, there's Chris. Nothing easy with any possession game at this stage. Shots. What a centre of gravity. He kicks to an outnumber. And the extra, it's a little bit like the first quarter when the Crows got sucked up trying to withstand all the full 50s that Collingwood were having. It allowed Collingwood spares behind the ball this time.
Pretty good game of football. I feel like Parramatta are doing a really good job from getting from their own try line and down to about 20 metres out from South Sydney line. They get a little bit lost attacking the line in that attacking zone. And so South Sydney have been very good that way as well, but they've been hanging in there, defending well. I feel like Parramatta are the better team by a tad, but it's been a really good game of football. Nice arm wrestle, and South Sydney worked really hard to get themselves back into this one.
MC, your thoughts on the touchline?
Yeah, just confirmation it was. Mitch Moses placed on report at the half-time break. Jared Sutton wasn't even sure where the tackle was. He goes, I'm not sure, it was just for an earlier tackle. So obviously the bunker has picked that up. Look, I think Parramatta looked the better of the two sides in that opening half, but it took a couple of bit of individual brilliance, one from Kelma Tuolangi, and then a nice pass from Will Benson here to score their two tries, while South Sydney, you know, they'll take all that they're trailing by at the half-time break just because of that they've been on the back foot, but they'll take some confidence knowing that they're still in this game.
Both of these lowly sides with just 7 wins each this year, chasing back-to-back victories. Of course, Souths had that win over the Gold Coast Titans last week by 2 points, and the Eels beat the Cowboys by a solitary point at their home Western Sydney Stadium. So 3 reports all up in that first half, with the first one Jacob Host with that shoulder charge of Luca Moretti, and then in that second half Tuolangi for that sort of unfortunate flip tackle, and also Mitchell Moses, both on report in that second half, and the penalty count did finish up at the half-time break 5-2 in the Eels' favour. There were further 4-1 ruck infringements South Sydney's way. In fact, make it 5-1 if you count the inside the 10 as well, as far as how all of that sits here at a half-time at the Sydney Football Stadium. Pleasant night for footy, and a good game so far, 12-10 the way of the Parramatta Eels. 0467920222. Craig from Foster says, hi Brett, Louis and Giggles. Great call so far, guys. I'm sending my thoughts and prayers out to Andrew and hope he gets home to his family soon. Good on you, Craig, with the prayer emoji. Hi Spriggy, I wishes Andrew all the best. You're doing a great job filling in. How's MC feeling about his Freo Tockers? Mikey from Bendigo. I reckon of all the AFL teams, MC would have the least about that one, but it's a pretty competitive field. A few of you wondering why the cricket's on in areas of far north Queensland. If you're hearing me talk now, then obviously it's not much good to you because you're listening to the cricket, but you can find the footy as always on the ABC Listen app and the cricket there as well, side by side in perfect harmony, as well as the AFL, which I know MC loves. Earlier, Cronulla 54 beat Gold Coast 22 at Shark Park. That win hampered or soured by a knee injury to captain Cam McInnes. Didn't sound too serious initially, and now believed to be a potential ACL. So that is big news for the Sharks as they embark on a potential top 4 and certainly top 8 finish. At Lang Park, the Battle of Brisbane finished up Broncos 38, Dolphins 28. And it was a 14-all halftime scoreline. Reece Walsh adjudged Billy Moore's best of field there. We'll take a break from the Sydney Football Stadium. Parramatta 12, South Sydney 10. Right now, time for ABC News.
News. I'm Eliza Getzi. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says he plans to meet the US President in Washington on Monday after Donald Trump's summit in Alaska with Russian leader Vladimir Putin secured no agreement to end the war in Ukraine. Mr. Zelensky says he's had a long and substantive conversation with Mr. Trump after the Alaska meeting. He thanked Mr. Trump for the invitation to meet in Washington and says they'll discuss all details of ending the war. Mr. Zelensky reiterated the importance of involving Europe and says it's involved at every stage to ensure reliable security guarantees together with the US. The outcome of the meeting or lack thereof, however, has disappointed Ukrainians, as Elias Kluwer reports.
You'll remember that the last time Volodymyr Zelensky was in the White House, the conversation between him and the Commander-in-Chief descended into a farce, and it ended with Mr. Zelensky storming out of the Oval Office. Here in Ukraine, the reaction to this summit has been scathing. Well, in the Kyiv media at least, it's been seen as a legitimising of Vladimir Putin, a man responsible for this war that's killed thousands of Ukrainians. In fact, one headline described it as sickening. In terms of the outcomes of the summit, well, there hasn't been really anything material, and that's been a demoralising blow for people here.
Back home, there's been no aftershocks after an earthquake felt over a large part of eastern Australia today. Lexi Hamilton-Smith has more.
We're being told from Geoscience Australia it was literally from Rockhampton right down to Wollongong in New South Wales. The intensity, we're told, varied from 30 seconds to a minute in some areas. We're now getting reports of the epicentre, which was near Murgon, some 2-hour drive north of Brisbane, of cracked walls, cornices coming off, things fell off the shelves, glass shattered, no people were injured. It was magnitude 5.6, was between depths of 2 to 10 kilometres. A very rare event for Queensland. Power went out for a lot of people, but it's back on now. Public transport, which was shut down for a short time, is back to normal.
And the death toll from monsoon flooding in Pakistan now exceeds 300 people. Another 60 people have been reported dead in Jammu and Kashmir in India. Pakistan's Prime Minister has held an emergency meeting with disaster officials as the search and rescue operation goes on, with more heavy rain forecast for the area. Most of the deaths occurred in the mountainous northern region of Pakistan, and a rescue helicopter crashed there, killing its 5 crew during the rescue operations. Arrests have been made after a clash at a rally in Melbourne's CBD today, which left 3 police officers with minor injuries. Here's more from Nate Woodall.
Police arrested 4 people, including a 21-year-old man who allegedly hit an officer with an umbrella during a scuffle with a group of counter-protesters this morning. Police set up barriers and deployed pepper spray to keep a group of about 80 counter-protesters separated from a Women Will Speak rally held by Women's Voices Australia, which describes itself on social media as working to strengthen sex-based rights. The counter-protesters were seen waving transgender pride flags as they marched through the CBD. 2 people were also arrested for allegedly possessing flares, and another man was arrested for allegedly refusing to move on.
Meanwhile, in Serbia, rallies related to elections have turned violent, with police clashing with protesters. Here's the BBC's Grant Ferret.
The most intense exchanges between police and protesters took place in Belgrade, with fireworks, flares and tear gas. But there were further demonstrations elsewhere, including Serbia's second biggest city, Novi Sad. The change in recent days has been the appearance of crowds of government supporters, many wearing black and wielding clubs. It's unclear how many people have been hurt in the latest unrest. According to the Interior Minister, more than 120 police have been injured. The police have themselves been accused of using excessive force.
And in sport, Hawthorn has scored a percentage-boosting win over Melbourne by 36 points at the MCG in the AFL. The final score was the Hawks 13-14-92 to the Demons 8-8-56. Hawks veteran Jack Gunston kicked 7 goals in the win. Earlier, GWS defeated Gold Coast by 35 points and Port Adelaide went down to Carlton by 54. And reigning AFLW premiers North Melbourne have made a winning start to the 2025 season, downing Geelong by 30 points at Cardinia Park.
ABC iView. Lose yourself in gripping entertainment. Somebody here. Like with the family next door. Know something. Darby and Joan. I'm going to find out who did this to you. And Bay of Fires.
What the...
Always free, always gripping. ABC iView.
Hello, Patrick Stack here. Do you like sport and good conversation? Then we've got a great podcast for you. One cracking story, in depth, every day, in under 15 minutes. It's called ABC Sport Daily, and you can find it on the ABC Listen app.
I'm a proud black killer boy with the killer flow. Listen to the year here, listen to it blow.
The 2025 NRL Premiership. It's Indigenous round.
Off here to Jacob Host. He's brought to the ground as well. 12 out. This will be last place. South who trail 2 points to nil. Ward here tipped on to Jai Gray and Taito Munro slams it down in the corner. Still play 3 now for the Parramatta Eels. Moses the flungy flick pass back here to Ayongi, who burns away and scores behind the posts. That was their best set of the game so far, and the results in their first try of the game. Walker, Moses, tipped on here, Youngie, back to Benson, loose man there. Lomax is all by himself, and there's nothing Johnston can do as Lomax goes and dives it on that right edge and scores the Eels' second try. It's going to be 6 more here, so back-to-back. It's great work from Mazelis. Saw the opportunity, goes himself from dummy half, and does score a very important try for South Sydney as we approach half-time.
ABC Sport.
Indigenous Round, recognising the contributions of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples to the game of rugby league.
Parramatta 12, South Sydney 10 here at the Sydney Football Stadium. You're with Brett Sprigg alongside Luke Lewis and Michael Carianis. Wins earlier to Cronulla over Gold Coast at Shark Park 54-22, and the Broncos 38 beat the Dolphins 28. NRLW earlier, Sharks beat Gold Coast 12-8, Broncos over Parramatta 38-4, and in Hamilton, with 2 players sent off in that game, Canberra 20 beat New Zealand Warriors 16. I mentioned that parts of you up north are hearing the cricket. Hopefully you found us on the ABC Listen App and the NRL coverage, but I didn't give you the score. We're in that third T20 in Cairns. Australia won the toss and have elected to bowl. South Africa is now 5 for 137 in the 16th over, and so far in that game, I can tell you at least the wicket takers for Australia. Hazelwood has taken 1, Nathan Ellis has taken 2, Adam Zampa has taken 1. What are you doing, Louis?
I just said you wanted one.
An empty grapevine with no grapes on it. You are fair dinkum. I was warned about this in these long Saturdays, and it's delivered so far in all the wrong ways. In the AFL second quarter, Collingwood 34 leads Adelaide 26, and in the AFLW halftime, Melbourne 22 leads the Western Bulldogs 10. In this game, of course, I mentioned the reports that were made, just to recap as well. Bradley Bentley-Harpe with a Category 1 head knock. It means he is taking no further part in this game. And, bit of a reshuffle of those South Sydney backs, of which he was going from wing to centre. And there's no doubt, as we mentioned in that first half, Louis, that Cody Walker provides so much more punch for the Rabbitohs in attack.
Yeah, he comes straight on. He made a break straight away. They look sharp with their ball movement across field. And just the confidence he adds to people out there on the field. So it's definitely a massive inclusion for him. But just going back to Bailey Bentley-Harpe, will he be right for next week? Because when's his next game?
Their next game
he has to miss 11 days.
No, that's Thursday. So
so he's out for that as well.
It's really away from that. So it's the Stadium Australia. They've next got the Dragons on Thursday night to start round 25 South. Then they've got the bye, so that's at least something. Then the Roosters back here at the Sydney Football Stadium. Next up, the Eels host the Roosters at Western Sydney Stadium Saturday night. Then the Warriors away. Then the Knights at home. The run home there for the Parramatta Eels. 0467920222. Now that everyone's aware that Morey's listening, they're all sending their best wishes, which is obviously Lucas says, "Where's your phone, mate?" Yeah, actually, my phone is here, but Louis did steal my wallet late in our between-game show, which is why he asked me for a coin from my wallet to flip a coin on the tip of the Broncos-Dolphins game. It was all because he'd sold my wallet. It wasn't me, out of my pocket. Some of the people are sending their displeasure about hearing the cricket on the radio, but hopefully you've found us here on the ABC Listen app, where the NRL coverage continues. Mark from the Central Coast says, "I'm on the fence, Briggsy, who wins this one, and hoping Morey's doing well. I know what's going on after going through the same thing at 33. I bet the physio's got him out of bed today, bashed him up. That's what they did to me after 3 days," says Mark from the Central Coast. Yeah, it does sound like a pretty grueling thing to go through, Mark. It's not exactly just a rest up and relax. It sounds like there's obviously a few things that they do in those situations, which I'm sure some of you have had experience with out there. 0467920222. The Eels take their positions in the northern end of the Sydney Football Stadium, and Cody Walker leads out the Bunnies here alongside Jai Arrow. So then, Louis, at 12:10 the Eels' way. Who's going from here?
I still think the Eels get this win, but they've got to sharpen up a bit more. The back end of that first 40, they were pretty horrible. They took their eye off the ball a bit, gave a lot of opportunities to South Sydney, and they did make them pay there with obviously a little bit of that, attention to detail in defence and letting Peter Marmazulis just dive over from dummy half. But they do look really good coming out of their own end. They've got to be very disciplined. For South Sydney, they're just going to ask a few more questions, but they're doing a good job. They just got to get a few opportunities down in Parramatta Parramatta end of the field.
Get to Michael Carianis on the touchline very shortly as the second half is just mere seconds away. You can keep your texts coming, 0467920222. Been a big day on ABC Sport. We've got 20 minutes left here, the second half at the Sydney Football Stadium. Eels kick us off and South to receive, trailing by that 2-point buffer. Fed back here. Up that right edge they go, this time with Jacob Host, and he's tackled 15 out. Second Taro out there, who's tackled 15 out from his own line. Back through centre field, and a big run from Brandon Smith. Now at his third NRL club, Brandon Smith. Back to the right-hand side, and this time it is Host who's claimed 30 out from his own line. Back through hands it comes on the inside to Humphreys. He runs the ball, 40 out, 20 in from the eastern side of the Sydney Football Stadium. Second last play, South Sydney. Gray the dummy, and he takes head on there the contact of Dury and also Walker. Last play, South, just inside their own half, and the kick does come from Cody Walker off that left foot. It's a raking ball downfield. On there to Isaiah Iyongi, and the Parramatta fullback is brought down 35 out from his own line. No change to our halftime score inside the first minute of this second half. 12-10 the Eels way, but they waste no time up that left-hand side. They go here, Parramatta, and clutching in behind him there. This is Josh Adokar, who's slow getting up and looks in a bit of pain. He's a little property on that right-hand side, so we'll keep an eye on that as we head back to MC on the touchline.
Yeah, I just spoke with Parramatta. There you go. Jacob Host on report twice now, either side of half-time. First one for a shoulder charge, second one for a hip drop there, so he's on report twice. Speaking of players on report, I just spoke with the Parramatta Eels bench regarding Mitch Moses, and they asked Mitch Moses why he was placed on a report, and no surprise, he's got no idea why.
He would say that, wouldn't he?
No, it was for a high tackle, he was told, but he can't remember collecting anyone high.
Yeah, Jared Sutton couldn't remember either, but he obviously got the directive from the bunker, so thank you, MC. Josh Adokar is staying out there for now, but visibly limping with that right ankle or foot area. So a penalty here going the Eels' way off the back of that second report for Jacob Host. They tap 30 out here, the Parramatta Eels. 12-10 their lead, 25 out centre field now as it's played by Dury. Riley Smith here, Walker, dummies the inside ball, now releases to Moses, to Olangi with a big catapult run forward, 15 out, attacking that southern line here, the South Sydney Rabbitohs are defending. Left-hand side, Walker on now Hopgood, and Hopgood stands and now tackled there by Gray and also Brandon Smith. 9 out centre field here, Parra. Play 4 for them. As it comes left-hand side, Walker, dummy to the outside, but to go there himself, he's still 2 metres shy, but Dury's hit the deck now, and he's writhing in pain.
Yeah, he got hit off the ball as well. That's what the penalty's for.
So penalty Parramatta as Dury gets up now. He's had the wind knocked out of him, I think.
That's why you got a penalty, mate.
It can't be the Humphreys. No, it must be Arrow who comes in.
No, the Jacob Host takes Dury out.
Where? Didn't see it. Anyway, they'll tap here 10 metres out. Fed back to Hopgood, and he skips into the defensive wall there where Arrow and Host are. He'll play it 6 metres out. Riley Smith, open side right now again. Papali to Moses. Wraps around the inside ball here now for Will Bensony, and he angles his run across the post, taken down 9 metres short of South Sydney's line. Eels lead by 2 points here, 12-10 the scoreline. Now it comes back to Matt Dury. He's okay, and he stands in the tackle 5 metres out from that southern line. Play it now here for Riley Smith. Onto the right-hand side, Moses. And now at Yongi, he dummies. He dashes away infield now, but he is collared by Walker and also Brandon Smith. 5 out, deep in that southwestern corner of the ground. Comes back to Moses. On to Walker. They shape it left. Now Hopgood hits that ball at speed and the defensive line as well. They'll play it there. 7 out centre field. Comes back now, Walker. And now fed off to Papali. Adokar is brought over the eastern touchline by Tai Munro. And that was good defence from the young Rabbitoh, and it will be a Souths ball. 10 out from their own line, southern end. It's the Eels who lead 12-10. 4 going first up on ABC Sport. MC on the touchline.
Again, South Sydney pretty good defensively. They've been pretty good defensively this whole game. It took a couple of individual pieces of brilliance for Parramatta in the opening half to score their 2 tries, but outside of that, the Rabbitohs have defended their try one particularly well.
No change to our halftime score here, which is 12-10 the Eels way, and there is that run up that left-hand side from Alex Johnson. Play it out now, Nomazelis. Open side right here. Humphreys spots up his half partner in Ward. Gray tries to burn pass on the inside there of Papali, but he's brought down 32 out from his own line. And now again, a little zigzagging run from Jai Arrow, the South skipper. 5 short of halfway, 20 in from the eastern side. 5 gone second half and still no score since half-time, 12-10 Para's way. Left-hand side shift here, South Sydney. It's come back to Johnston. He got that ball from Tallis Duncan. Now steps in field where he's taken by Moses. Last play South, 30 out, 10 in from the western side. Duncan dummy half. And now off a step. A kick from Jamie Humphreys. Hangs there for a while. Lomax launches uncontested. Brings it down. He's off in some space now. He gets rid of the cheese. And he's still going. 40 out from his own line. Lomax will play it there. Good start to the set there for the Eels, Louis. 12-10 their lead.
Yeah, that's a good work there by Zach Lomax.
Here they go. Walker and now Iongi and Papali is stopped 40 out, 20 in from the eastern side. Smith dummy half. That's short side left. And now Iongi tries again. He scored a try in the first half of the Parramatta Eels, who lead 12-10. And now it will be deemed a Parramatta knock-on. So the ball's been lost out there by Bensony, and it will be a South scrum feed 30 out from their own line, southern end.
Yeah, what about Zach Lomax there? Under a bit of pressure, comes up with a really nice take, and then comes up with a really brilliant run there. Throws off that Smith there, Brandon Smith, then throws off Jai Gray, and they get right on the front foot straight away. Then they come up with an error in what play 2 there, and had a really good opportunity to put some pressure on South Sydney in that opportunity there.
Terry from Nowra and Brian from United are both asking how you can put on a report twice and not get binned. I suppose the incidents have to be, you can't sort of have a what do we call like a sum of both incidents if they're both on the lighter side. I mean, I don't know, what do you reckon, Louis? Should you get binned if you have 2 reports?
No, automatically, unless they're identical, but yeah, it's 2 different things.
Yeah. So 40 out from the run line here, South Sydney. That's the case for Jacob Host, who was close to the corner of the half. Here's Fletcher, makes a bit of a dash here. 40 out from that Parramatta line. Dummy half Humphreys. Nowhere to go. He finds Smith on the inside. Brandon Smith. And now Ashton Ward trying to just weave back on the inside there of Dury. And the diminutive 5'8" is cut down. 25 out centre field. Amazelis off to Smith on his second last play. Walker to Gray in the corner now as well. Johnston's lurking. Duncan still has the footy. Tackled 5 out there in that northwestern quarter of the SFS. Gray back to Walker. That ball looks forward. It's still bouncing though here. Picked up now by Papali. And the Eels are back away. 15 out from their own line. They lead 12-10. 7 gone second half here on ABC Sport. Josh Odokar's okay, by the way. He was limping a few minutes ago. The Fox is tackled and playing it now. 25 out from his own line. Up that left-hand side they go here. The Parramatta Eels through Jack Williams. 35 out from his own line now. Smith waits in behind him. Spots up the pass, right-hand side. Lomax, a centre field run. Long flick pass at the back there for his captain, Moses. Directs traffic. Feeds it back himself down to Tuolangi. No one can stop him. He sort of stopped there and was slowed down there by Jacob Host, who'll play at 5 short of halfway. Smith now on to Papali of the Eels. Jack Williams with the break. On here, Dylan Brown. He's got some pace. Adokar's going for the footy on the outside, but he finds Iongi, and Gray makes a tackle on Iongi. Stops him 6 out from that southern line. Riley Smith. Back here, Dylan Walker. They swarm on him. Great South defence on this second last play. He's half metre shy here of those southern uprights. So, 12-10 Paras lead. This is the last Moses. Little deft kick picked up by Jai Gray. What a defensive set from South Sydney. Para looked so promising, Louis, and that was great work from Jai Gray in particular.
Well, you say what a defensive set. I say what a defensive set just from Jai Gray there. He comes up with a big play, pulls up Iongi, then he gets back up, stops Dylan Walker, and then comes straight back over the other side and picks up that little grubber kick there from Mitch Moses and gets the ball back for South Sydney. Huge work there from Jai Gray.
9 gone second half here on ABC Sport. Eels 12, Rabbitohs 10 here at the Sydney Football Stadium. Already on second last play here, 38 from their own line, South Sydney, and that's where Jai Arrow is dumped, 35 out. Played now Nomazelis. He scored one of their tries in that first half. Last play kick comes from Humphreys onto the chest of Josh Adokar, 25 out from his own line. Plenty of open paddock there for the Fox, and he's run down there by Tyrone Munro. 8 metres short of halfway. Played now for Papali. So Parramatta here up that left-hand side. Brown again tries to step out of the tackle of Ashton Ashton Ward. He's stopped there by Ward and also Jacob Host. 6 minutes inside South Territory as, again, here they go through Jermaine Hopgood. 40 outs in the field. Eels 12, Rabbitohs 10. 10 gone second half. Good on you, Louis. Here goes Nat Dury, and he's tackled 30 out from that southern line. Riley Smith, flat ball dummy half here. Moses, cut out ball here. Lomax, but it went straight through his hands over the western touchline. South's ball, 20 out from that southern line, right in front of you, Michael Carianis.
Yeah, just an error pass there from Mitch Moses. I've just got to be careful here, the Parramatta Eels, because I've had all the running in this second half, but I'm unable to put it into points. But I'm loving what South Sydney have been able to do with the ball since Cody Walker's come onto the field. He's just given their attack some new life.
So 10 gone second half, as I mentioned. Still no score in this second half at least. Parramatta 12, South Sydney 10. And this lightning quick start of the second half. It's going to be now a penalty going South's way for offside. Team in Bondi Beach asked, why is this game at the SFS? Well, Souths do play select home games, 1 or 2 home games a year at this venue. Of course, they'd like to play ball games here, but this is part of the Gadu Gathering. So this is a 3-day event which featured the Roosters Bulldogs game last night, South's Para, and tomorrow there's the NRLW game, which is West Tigers and St George Illawarra, I believe, and also Wests and Manly meet in the men's fixture. So you're back here tomorrow, Louis, with Gibbsy and Ben Lauder for the midday pre-game show, and that 2 o'clock kick-off between the Tigers and the Seagulls. The back of the penalty here, South Sydney, 25 outs in the field. Brandon Smith tackle, plays it now. Numberzellis, the left-hand side. On it comes to Walker, and now a bouncing ball for Jai Gray. It's going to get knocked on as he did touch that footy, Jai Gray. So it will be an Eels possession now, 20 out from their own line, northern end with that scrum, and it'll be in the middle of the ground. They lead 12-10, 11 going second half on ABC Sport. Tennessee on the touchline.
Yeah, again, just another error, and hopefully this second half isn't riddled with errors, but I just gave Cody Walker a rap there, and he just throws a poor pass, much like Mitch Moses the set before.
By the way, in the cricket, so South Africa are now 6-1-5-5 in the 19th over. 2 wickets each for Josh Hazelwood, Nathan Ellis and Adam Zampa in that third T20 up in Cairns. They played 3 one-days as well in Cairns and Mackay, those last 2 games in Mackay. And now here's a run from Charlie Guymer off the bench, his first run. He actually debuted last time these sides met, round 18 last year at Stadium Australia, or in fact at Western City Stadium. They played the corresponding Indigenous round fixture at Stadium Australia though as well. 8 to halfway, played there by Dury. As a trip to the right-hand side from Talon De Silva. So he's out there as well for the Parramatta Eels. They lead 12-10, 12 gone second half. Tuolangi's put down just inside South Territory. De Silva, and now it's going to be was a roll ball. Wasn't correctly played there by the Parramatta Eels. And Jared Sutton deems it will be coming back here to South Sydney, just short of the halfway line.
Yeah, Mitch Moses didn't like it either. He's blowing up because that call actually comes from the touch judge. It didn't come from the referee there, and he's not liking that call there, Mitch Moses.
On the replay, it's pretty evident that it's certainly justified, the decision there from the bunker, Matt Noyan, via the referee, Jared Sutton. South's on the attack, who trailed 12-10. 13 going second half here on ABC Sport. Brandon Smith tries to just attack low in there on the tackle of Dylan Walker. He'll play out 35 out centre field. Mazzilla slips away from Walker. Brought down there by his legs by Yongi. And now it's going to be 6 more for inside the 10. So a full set now for South Sydney. 20 out from Para's line, northern end. 20 in from the eastern side, Nomazelis. Off here, Brandon Smith. He'll show and go now. Wide to Walker. On that corner as well, Jai Gray is zippy. Steps back infield, slip into the contact of Moses. And he'll play it 10 out, 10 in from the western side. This is play 3 now for South Sydney. As Humphreys, just bounced in there off Charlie Guymer. And he'll play it now. 7 out, left-hand side of the uprights. Nomazelis here for Souths. As they come to the right-hand side. Ashton Ward, inside ball, charging forward now, Jacob Host. He is still 2 metres shy of that northern line. Second last place, South who trail 12-10. Nomazelis goes from dummy half. He's held up and driven back there by 3 Eels defenders. Last place, Souths, 1.5 metre out of that northern line. Brandon Smith, dummy half. Off here, Humphreys. Walker, back to that corner as well. Here is Tallis Duncan, goes himself and scores the try. He had Johnston there on the outside, but the back rower breaks through and puts South back in front. 14-12, kick to come. 14 minutes gone, second half here on ABC Sport. Luke Lewis.
Yeah, well, Parramatta look absolutely shot at the moment. South Sydney doing a really good job with the ball coming out of their own end. They're asking a lot of questions on both sides of the field. They're looking good in the middle of the field there. Peter Marvazul's keeping the defence honest. And then good work here there from Cody Walker. Just to throw a little cutout pass behind Tallis Duncan. And Tallis Duncan does a great job. I thought he was going to flick past it. He did everything he possibly could to, try and pop it out the back. And he thought, you know what, I might push my way over here. And he does. Scores a great try. South Sydney in front, like you said. 14-12, kick to come.
Tallis Duncan, who has Wannaroa heritage, leading this round. He scores a try. 14-12. MC on the touchline.
Yeah, he should have scored that far out from the line there. Tallis Duncan, Will Benson, he doesn't make much of an effort to wrap up Tallis Duncan, and Zach Lomax tried to come in over the top unsuccessfully. So just a poor defensive bit of play there from the Parramatta Eels.
Now the kick from Ashton Ward. So we've seen three different kickers used in this game so far, with Bentley Harpay failing his HIA. That was a Category 1, and so he had the first attempt at golf back at the Tyrone Munro try. Jamie Humphreys was 1 from 1 earlier, off the back of the Nomazelos try before half-time, and now Ashton Ward, who debuted only 3 weeks ago against Cronulla Sutherland, the Gerringong Lions Junior, will kick from 23 metres out, and a metre in from the western side of the football stadium. So this game's had big momentum swings, Louis. And we'll see if South can go 4 points ahead. Ward comes in, kick starts left, it stays there. And it remains South Sydney 14, Parramatta 12, here on ABC Sport. 0467920222. It seemed like since the start of the game, the floodgates could open at any time. South's defence has been gallant, says Joe in Newcastle. Yeah, it's a fair point. Keith in Brisbane, wishing Maury all the best for a speedy recovery as, no offence, my favourite commentator. None taken at all, Keith. Happy that's not game set bingo for him just yet. I've also met Billy Moore a long time ago at a dinner when Queensland had won 7 straight. Thank you all for your commentary that gets me my NRL fix while I work. Good on you, Keith. And you can keep your text coming, 0467920222. Any I don't get to, I can get to after the game and our post-game wrap-up. 14-12 here, South's lead, Louis, as they go back on the attack. Zealous off here to the left-hand side of the park. And it's out there with Humphreys, is it? Yep, playing it 25 out from his own line. Zealous spots up Brandon Smith, first receiver. Angles his run there into Moses and also Charlie Geimer. And he'll play it 32 out from his own line. Zealous here. With a few plays left in this set. Flicked out the back there, Ashton Ward to Gray, and now at that right edge they go with Tass. He takes on Dylan Brown. He's claimed there by opposite number, 2 metres short of halfway. Open side left again here, Jai Gray on this second last run now for South Sydney. 5 inside Eels territory, 14-12 the South's lead. While they go left-hand side, off a couple of steps, the Humphreys kick hangs there for an eternity. It comes down now to Isaiah Iongi, and he spins out of a tackle. Eventually, though, he is claimed on that right edge defence by South Sydney. Comes away quickly here, Josh Adokar straightens his run through centre field, 32 out from his own line now. Played now Papali. Off now again to Hopgood. In fact, it's Lomax who tried to just swerve through out there, but will come back here on tackle 4 now for the Parramatta Eels. It's Moses. As they come right-hand side of the park, 7 metres short of halfway. Got the footy out there towards Bentony. Now played to Moses, to Alani on this second last effort. 5 inside South's territory, 14-12 South Sydney's lead. Last play for the Parramatta Eels. To Silva, at the short side right now for Moses. High kick up in the air, down towards Jai Gray. Takes the clean catch, thinks about the options here, but he's claimed 15 out to his own line at southern end. We'll get to MC shortly on the touchline as the Rabbitohs go back on the attack, this time through Alex Johnston, who remains for now on 209 tries. So no tries tonight, and he's still 3 shy of the great Ken Irvine. 18 gone, 22 left in this second half on ABC Sport. Trying to get through out there is Sean Kepler. Played now 35 out from his own line. A dart from dummy half, Zealous. He runs into Talender Silva. A bit of a fend and a bit of shoving there on the jersey.
Sean, last tackle.
Yeah, so he's just going to come back and reset him here. There's referee Jared Sutton. Last play, Southland, just inside halfway. Now the kick from Humphreys. Angles high across field now to Iongi. And the Eels go back on the attack, Louis, with South lead 14-12.
Yeah, Souths are in front at the moment. Parramatta actually look very tired. They're starting to struggle to get back on side. Their ball movement wasn't as good as what it was earlier. And they're doing a really good job, South Sydney, with their defence. And they're making some nice metres and starting to make some half breaks up the middle of the field.
Lomax playing 35 out from his own line. Now a run from Bensney, but he is going to get the penalty here for inside the 10. So some overzealous South Sydney defence there. Down to MC on the touchline.
Yeah, it's interesting that 10-metre penalty. I can't say from there, but is he standing outside the 40 for that? So it should have been a set restart instead of a penalty.
Yeah. They scratching their heads wanting that right now, but they're going to kick here for touch on the western side. What's doing, MC? 14-12 to South lead.
Yeah, just the crowds bring in 21,395, and you mentioned the fact that they look tired. Well, Jason Riles has gone to his bench. Luca Moretti has just come on for Dylan Walker.
Okay, thank you, Michael Carianis. Here's Barlaw back in the action as well. Ducks his way into a tackle. Offloads here to his teammate in De Silva. Hits the deck, 22 out from that Souths line. And now Geimer through hands. This is the second play in the set now for the Parramatta Eels, who trail 14-12 on the scoreboard midway through this second half. Standing in the tackle and now playing it is Jack Williams. And now Geimer, his fellow back rower. No real gain for him. 15 outs in the field. De Silva assesses the options. Goes right-hand side of the park. Moses back on the inside now as Cappy makes the tackle there on Moretti. And he'll play it there, Moretti. Right-hand side of the uprights. De Silva off to Moses. And now Williams can't quite finish off. 5 out, dead centre field now for the Eels. De Silva, can they take back the lead? Moses to Papali. And now Iongi out wide to Adokar. But again, Tyrone Munro just forced it out of the eastern touchline. He had a few more lofty strides to go, Josh Adokar, but Taito Munro said nope, and he denies the Fox for the second time in this game. Souths 14, Parramatta 12, 20 gone, 20 left in this second half of ABC Sport. Luke Lewis.
I tell you what, Munro's doing a really good job out there on the wing. He's putting a lot of trust on his inside man. He's getting up, he's holding, he's staying in the system, and then when the ball goes, he goes. He makes a decision when the ball's in the air. He's doing a really, really good job. He's had some really strong carries tonight as well, but great defence out wide.
So, South Sydney back on the attack. 17 out from their own line, and tackled there and playing it out there is Fletcher. And it comes back through an open side of the park. Tass, 25 outs in the field. Mazelis on here to Jacob Post. On report twice in this game, separate incidents. And now they come left-hand side. South, Jai Gray shows good zip and dash, and he's run down from behind there by Mitch Moses. 40 out from his own line. 10 in western side. South's 14, Parramatta 12 here on ABC Sport. Now a good post-contact run there from Sean Kepi, brought down by Barlaw. Play it just inside Eels territory. Last play does come, the kick from Humphreys. High in the air now to Iongi. Parts himself under it, 10 out from his own line. And he tried to get away from Smith. Does so bounce off Brendan Smith. Run down though, his second effort in there was the host and also Ward. 25 outs in the field. Away from their own end here to Parramatta Eels. As a pass is swung wide, Bentony steps back inside on Munro, but Munro gets him again. Good defensive play there from Tyrone Munro, who scored their first try of the game, South Sydney. In fact, it was the first try of the game. Open side right, on play 3 here for the Parramatta Eels. Offload comes from Lomax back here to Bentony. And he's tackled, in fact, it's Dylan Brown, tackled 40 out, 20 in from the eastern side. De Silva dummy half on them already. Offloads back here to his utility. De Silva gains a few more as he steps here off the Walker tackle, but he's claimed 25 outs in the field. Second last play here for the Eels, who trail 14-12. Fed wide back here again to Moses, and now Iongi. Through the gap goes Bensony, wrapped up around the waist down there. A good tackle it was from Johnston. Last play, Parra, 10 minutes out. Moses goes to the deft kick, goes in behind the post, and in the end the best option is there for Jacob Post to run the ball dead, and it will be a line dropout coming off the boot of South Sydney. They lead 14-12 here at the Sydney Football Stadium, Louis. 17 and a half left in the game.
Yeah, nice little touch there from Mitch Moses to get at the repeat set. But I tell you what's really starting to trouble South Sydney are them offloads. And it all starts with Zach Lomax. Every time he carries a ball, he's looking to promote that ball. They've got to continue to do that, Parramatta, because that's when they're their most dangerous.
As MC mentioned, crowd here, 21,395. It's a short dropout here. It arrives in the lap of Alex Johnston. So South keep the footy from that dropout. And they'll continue on the attack with a 14-12 lead. Down to MC shortly as Jai Gray just can't take their eyes off him. He just evades one defender. Eventually claimed there by Geimer and De Silva, 20 out. Dummy half Walker. On open side right here to Jai Arrow. And he's tackled the 30 out now from his own line. Nomazelis. They're swinging it across now. Ward, plenty of space out there for Jacob Host, but up ahead he's taken down firstly by Papali. Also out there in the defensive wall of Geimer with him. Walker swung back through the left-hand side. And Moses makes the tackle out there on to Thomas Fletcher. That darting kick from Moses has bounced off Ward. That's great work from Tallis Duncan. It was a loose ball. It wasn't played up, so it's going to be a changeover anyway. And Parra will get the 40 back, 30 out from their own line. 14-12 is the South Sydney lead. 16 left in this second half. As we'll go and have a challenge.
Challenge, mate. Had it not played out on the original kick, then it's a question of whether Parramatta gets a hand to it on the ground.
Happened so fast, it was hard to see, Lee, but what did you...
Gerard Sutton did say straight away, not played it, not played it. He was saying it the whole way, so I'm going to have to back him in on it because he was watching it as it happened.
Especially kick chaser onside.
Yeah, definitely doesn't get played at. It's Benson turns his back.
Comes off the back of Benson, does it?
Yes, he turns his back. He's not looking at the ball. And it just ricochets off his back.
So even though Duncan gets there first, the fact it was called pretty consistently from Gerard Sutton, not played at, we mean that we change over here, Michael Carianis.
Will Penasini's not playing at the ball. He's turning away from the ball. We're playing on at this stage. The tackle count is still 5.
That's the far.
But he only plays at the ball here. He goes to pick it up, and then he touches it before Tallis Duncan gets to it. So I think it'll be South Sydney's ball.
Okay, it's South Sydney scrum. Yeah, he does get his hands to it first, and Duncan comes in desperately. So there you go. Okay, so for now it remains South Sydney 14, Parramatta Eels 12.
Parramatta knocked the ball on first. This restarts a tackle count, and then there is a South Sydney knock on after. The challenge by South Sydney is successful.
Yeah, successful challenge, and it will be a South Sydney scrum 30 metres out from that northern line here at the Sydney Football Stadium. No score in this, beg your pardon, Duncan scored the try, didn't he? So it was 12-10 half-time, Parra's way, 14-12 South Sydney.
I just love Tallis Duncan's attitude there. He sees the ball on the floor, absolutely puts his head down and sprints at it and gets down low, slides onto the ball and just puts a bit of pressure on the fullback there and comes up with a good play there for South Sydney. It gives them really good field position here to put some more points on the board.
Back to MC on the touchline.
Yeah, look for the play between Cody Walker and Jai Gray. I think they'll get some joy on the edge, particularly on this left-hand side of the field.
Well, they go right-hand side for now, at least, the Rabbitohs. Cass is taken high by Joash Papali. No, it's going to be offside. So
what do you can't go quick?
Penalty here going South Sydney's way. 14-12 is their lead. 15:40 left in this second half here at the Sydney Football Stadium as your Saturday Rugby League comes to an end.
Mitch,
this game is still anyone's, Louis.
I still haven't seen anyone get sent off here. So Joash is offside. They've opted to take the scrum again. If they do the same thing or they get another penalty off this scrum, someone will get sent 10 to the bin. Have we seen one this year? A send-off for doing a double, like 2 errors off the scrum?
Oh, that's exactly.
Yeah, let's go.
So Walker feeds the scrum left-hand side. Nomazelis off to Gray. Skips away there for Papali. In fact, Papali does drag him down with the back of his jersey. 20 out, 10 in from the eastern side. Away it comes here. Ward onto Kepi. Straightening run toward the uprights. He's still 13 metres shot. 14-12 is South's lead here at the Sydney Football Stadium. Brandon Smith on now Walker. Left-hand side here. Duncan through the gap and strolls in to score his second try of the half. South extend their lead, 18-12, kick to come. 14 and a half left here on ABC Sport. Luke Lewis.
Well, if anyone deserves another try, it's Tallis Duncan. And this is a beautiful hole run. Really good work here by Cody Walker. Goes really close to the line and holds the ball up nicely. I thought he was going to play out the back to Jai Gray like Michael Carianis predicted, but he plays short. But this comes down to this field position here too from his effort earlier, just for sliding along the ground and getting the ball back there from Iongi. So good work there from Tallis Duncan. Nice little passage of rugby league from him in the last minute and a half.
Back to MC on the touchline.
Yeah, huge couple of plays there from Tallis Duncan. As Lewis said, he fought every inch to force that error from Iongi, and they got the ball back. And then a retreating Mitchell Moses, a retreating Will Benson just create enough of a gap for Tallis Duncan to slice through. And Cody Walker's attack has been the difference of this South Sydney side.
On that left-hand side, yeah, Walker engineered that pass, didn't he? That effective build-up there from South Sydney. And, of course, on that same edge of Tallis Duncan is Alex Johnston, who I don't think he'll mind that Duncan's been doing all the right things. He's been hungry, he's been desperate, both in defence and attack, Tallis Duncan, and he scores 2 tries here. As long as they win, I don't think Alex Johnston will care that record goes on for at least one more week or two. Here is Ashton Ward, who missed his first attempt, which was a little bit further away. Same sort of angle, though. He's 18 metres out here and 15 in from the western side. So make it 20 points to 12, a very important buffer in the game. Beyond that, 6 points. Ward comes in. This kick successful. Flags up. Ward 1 from 2. And South's lead 20. The Parramatta Eels 12. 13-20 left. Who's on report here again? And see Mitch Moses just having a chat there to Jared Sutton. Is he saying it's Moses again?
Yeah, for a trip in action, I thought I heard.
Okay. I wonder if he has more to do about this one, Mitch Moses. Anyway, we'll keep an eye on that. We'll see here in the build-up there. He stuck out. Yeah, stuck out his right leg on Tallis Duncan. It wasn't successful to stop Tallis Duncan, but that explains why the Parramatta skipper is on report for a second time in this game. 20 points to 12 is the scoreline here, and well, it's still a long way to go yet. 13 minutes left, 15 seconds all up here at the Sydney Football Stadium. Havili back from the kickoff, and he's dragged back there by Moretti and also Williams. 12 out, 20 in from the eastern side. And now on the arching run here for South Sydney. It is with that man Munro, played out of Brandon Smith, the dummy half. Right-hand side of the field for Kepi. 30 outs in the field now for South Sydney. The big cheese goes again here. Tackled 40 out from his own line. Stopped this time already. Played here to Havili, I beg your pardon. And he'll play it just inside Parramatta territory. They get some run going here. Cody Walker sends his kick onto the chest of Zach Lomax. Para back on the attack, 20 out from their own line. And they trail by 20 points to 12. 12 minutes left in this game, Luke Lewis.
Yeah, good work there by South Sydney. Really nice set. They all ran hard, they ran direct, they got upfield nicely. And I reckon Cody Walker just needed to find a little bit of grass there with his kick, but that's what you want to do after points. Really good work. And South Sydney, really, they just got to keep doing what they're doing at the moment. They've got 6 sets with the ball left.
Anthony, and now it's off here to Junior Barlow. Spins out a one tackle of Brandon Smith, and now Moses swings a pass across here to Papali. Stop 40 outs in the field now for the Parramatta Eels. Second last play for the Eels. They need some points and quickly. And now again on this run from that man Walker. Played 30 out middle of the park. Moses off a couple of steps. His right foot kick up in the air. On that edge, Lomax up there first. Bats it forward into the path of the South Sydney players. South kept that loose ball anyway. It'll be a changeover, 10 out from their own line. By the way, the cricket is finished up in the South. 7 for 172. Nathan Ellis with 3 wickets and Australia chasing 173 to win in that third T20 in Cairns. You can hear coverage of that by the ABC Listen app. AFL third quarter around the grounds there. Adelaide 39, Collingwood 37. AFLW fourth quarter, Melbourne 56 leads Western Bulldogs 10. You're with Brett Sprigg, Luke Lewis, Michael Carianis here at the Sydney Football Stadium as we wrap up this third game on your Saturday. We've been here since the very start of the day, and here we are as Munro plays a 20 out from his own line. South's 20, the Eels 12, 11 left in this game of footy. Havili again will play it. Off there to Ward, feeds it back here to his captain Arrow, and it will be tackled 35 out from his own line at the southern end of the ground. Left-hand side, Mazulis off to Gray again. Up that dangerous left-hand side goes South, but Benson makes the tackle there on the South Sydney fullback. Last play, Rabbitohs. Duncan swings it across. Ugly pass out of Ward, who receives, and now just goes off the inside of his boot. A high spiralling ball on the bounce for Josh Adokar. There'll be 30 out here for the Eels. He gains a few more, the Fox, and he's tackled by Kepi. 32 out from his own line at Northern End. 10-20 left in the game. It's still South 20, the Eels 12. Well, they go again, Parramatta. This time through Dylan Brown. On that left edge playing centre. Left 20 in from the eastern side. And now again it's with Jack Williams. And he gains 7 or 8 more metres now, just short of the halfway line. The silver dummy half. Rips it right-hand side of the field now for Walker. Onto this shape now to the right-hand side. And again, Bensony run down by Duncan. Great defensive work from Carlos Duncan. He'll play it now 35 out, Bensony, as it's fed back from Myongi to Moses on their second last play. And now Guymer hits the deck for the Eels, 25 out, middle of the park. To Silva, Moses, almost run down there by Kepi. He was, in fact. Ball goes up in the air, though. Josh Adokar can't feed the ball back tidily. It is picked up by Brown. Somehow it's still the last, and will end the play there. And South will continue their next set. 15 out in their own line, 5 in from the eastern side. They lead 20 points to 12, 9.5 left. MC on the touchline.
Yeah, they're struggling at the moment, the Parramatta Eels. The last play options have been poor basically all night, but this couldn't help them now. Tyrone Munro looks like he just made an error.
Yeah, which has been a pretty good night for him beyond, or apart from that, MC. But Tyrone Munro has made the error here, so this will be an opportunity for the Parramatta Eels. 20 out centre field, unless...
Yeah, it is. Okay. That was tackle 1 on the ground, Matty. Tyrone Munro challenging the ruling of the knock-on.
They're all arguing that it was more than 10 seconds.
Sorry?
They couldn't get a really good view from where we were sitting up here on that one.
No, it was on the far corner, but it looked pretty straightforward anyway as far as whether there's anything from Papali that
I don't think so.
Ball coming loose.
In that view, it looked like it was just a loose carry, but we'll get another look at it. Well, he's not even going to get a good look at there.
They look at the
Joash Papali'i is just making a tackle. There's no stripping motion. The challenge by South Sydney is unsuccessful.
The on-field call will stand and the scoreline remains 20 points to 12 South Sydney. However, it will be a ball for Parramatta, a scrum feed 20 out from that southern line. Back to MC on the touchline.
Yeah, Mitch Moses has to try and spark something here from his side. I think Papali or Iongi's probably been the most likely for the Parramatta Eels, but it's got to come off the back of that number 7.
They've got to keep the offload. So the offload's when it really troubles South Sydney. When they're just playing through their normal sets, South Sydney are eating it up.
So here they go. Para's scrum feed, 20 out centre field. De Silva swings it right-hand side. Moses on here, Yongi to Lomax in that corner, and he can stroll away and score a try in the corner. Zach Lomax with his second try of the game to bring the Eels right back in it. 20 points to 16, kick to come, Parramatta, 8:45 left in the game, Luke Lewis.
Yeah, scrum play 1, over to the right edge. Zach Lomax has got a heap of space, but I tell you what, it wasn't a very good read there by Alex Johnson. He goes straight in, leaves a whole lot of space. And I tell you what, Dallas Duncan's been brilliant tonight out in that right edge, but he just didn't have the speed to get across and stop Zach Lomax at full flight. So, nice try, great finish there from Zach Lomax. Gets Parramatta back in the game, 20.16, kick to come, 8.5 minutes on the clock.
MC on the touchline.
Yeah, interested. It's going to be Mitch Moses who lines up this conversion attempt. They just brought out the green tee, which is Zach Lomax tee. He goes, no, I need the black one. So he's about to have a conversion attempt.
What's the difference, MC? Not colours.
The height, I think. I didn't get a great look at the green one, but I think it's the height difference.
No, it's the green. Get a good look at the kick, though. He's right in front of you. So we'll keep an eye on that one here. Mitch Moses is 25 metres out here, a metre in from the west to the side, right in front of our esteemed colleagues, Michael Carianis and Ralph Tucker.
He pulls his left, I reckon, a little bit. Going towards left post.
It's been the best night for kicking, especially for Souths, to be honest.
Sort of feels like it looks like it's aimed at the left post.
So, big kick this to Mitch Moses. 7.5 minutes left in the game. Parramatta captain. Lines up the kick. On the approach, tough angle, on its way, and it fades across the face of goal. It remains Souths 20, Eels 16, 7:20 left in this game here on ABC Sport. One of our correspondents says, what the? Ashton Ward is 21, he looks 16 at best. He does look very young. I know how that feels. Got asked for ID until I was like 33. So, Ashton Ward, my heart's with. But it's a good thing. When you get older, you want to look young, so it doesn't matter. Please. What?
You would have been asked for ID straight away.
Nah, never. I was getting asked for ID all the time.
You look at least 40.
7:20 left here in the second half. You're at ABC Sport. Keep your text coming later on. 0467920222. As the ball goes downfield there, the kick-off onto the chest of the two-time try scorer Zach Lomax in this game. After Moses missed that conversion attempt, he was the hero last week, of course, with the winning field goal. We'll see if it comes down to a decisive play, either with winning the ball or with a kick potentially later on. To Silva, on here to Walker, and now Barlaw. 6:50 left in the game. Barlaw is put down 40 out from his own line. Play it there for De Silva. Comes back with a short ball right-hand side. Walker to Moses, who's set up on immediately by Cody Walker and forced back 40 out from his own line. He'll play it there, 9 short of halfway. De Silva, on to Walker again. On this second last play, the Eels run the footy. 5 out, 5 inside South's territory. Comes back here to Silva, on to Moses. Puts up a very high ball. Holds up there in a very slight breeze for Jai Gray. Parks himself under it, takes a clean catch, and he'll play it there 20 out from his own line. South's back on the attack. 20 points to 16 their lead, Louis. 6-3 left in the game. And here goes Tyrone Munro. But he's sandwiched between Josh Adokar and also Dylan Brown out there on that right edge defence for the Parramatta Eels. And now again they come through centre field. 25 out as Geimer collects Isaiah Tass. Dunny half, Brandon Smith. Back short side right here again, this time for Jacob Host. Playing it now 30 out, 20 in from the eastern side. This is second last play, South Sydney. But it's come to Jai Gray. That left-hand side shift is always dangerous, but Moses runs down Jai Gray. 5 short of halfway, last play, South Sydney. 20 points to 16 their lead. Kick goes up from Walker. It's a wobbly one there for Iongi. Takes the catch though. He's 30 out from his own line and welcomed there by Fletcher and also Arrow, 20 in from the western side. 5.5 left, Luke Lewis. South 20, the Eels 16.
Yeah, here goes Zach Lomax again. He had some really strong carries.
Lateral run here. Ward gets him. Play on.
They need some more offloads here, Parramatta.
Tackle 3 here for Parramatta for the Eels. Walker the flick pass. Back to Lomax. Gets away from Ward. Has outside options there, but he carries the footy over halfway. Ward goes down low. Up top by Isaiah Tass to stop him. Third tackle of the set. 45 out from the South Sydney line. Eels now with Papali. On to his captain Moses. Back right-hand side to Kelvin Tuolangi. And he's tackled now by 3 South defenders. 40 outs in the field. 4:52 left in the game. It was a quick game these last stages. Papali on here to Williams. And he's tackled now out there by Jacob Host. 30 out, 20 in from the eastern side. This is last play for the Eels. Moses puts a kick up. It's going to sit up there for Johnston. No, Benson gets there first. Loose footy pounced on by Walker. What say you, referee Jared Sutton? It was knocked on first by the Eels. So it will be a Souths ball. 10 out from their own line, and they keep a 4-point lead for now. 20 points to 16. 4:20 left and MC on the touchline.
Yeah, I'm not sure where that knock on was. And Mick Moses ran up to Jared Sutton to challenge it, and he's like, mate, you got no challenges left.
So here they go. Tallis Duncan bounced off that wall of Parramatta defenders here. Will play at 15 out. Brandon Smith on to Tyrone Munro. First try scorer in the game. Good defensive work as well. Play at 15 out. This game's still up for grabs here at the Sydney Football Stadium. 3:55 left. Here's an angled run now from Kepi. He's still 30 out from his own line. Smith. And now on tackle 4 for Jai Arrow. Brought down there by De Silva and also Hopgood, 35 out. South at least control the score for now. It's a high kick from behind the 40 from Brandon Smith and at hooker, and now it's gone down towards Iongi. So the Eels back on the attack position rather well here, 35 out from their own line.
They need some offloads here, Spriggy.
3.5 left in the game. It comes to Lomax. Up the right-hand side of the field he goes, but tackled just shy of the 40 as Duncan came across to cover him. And now Moses. Off now Bensony. Straight into his run toward the halfway line. Walker stops him 5 short. You can hear there from ref Jared Sutton, play 3. Now Barlow offloads here back to Moses. Swings the pass very wide now left-hand side to Dylan Brown. Short pass Williams. Where's the Fox? Williams still going. Nothing on the inside there apart from Jacob Hose, who plays it there for the Fox as he's tackled. The Fox bursts away. He slips over Rabbitohs. He's 17 outs in the field. And this will be last play. Para who trail by 4 points. It comes now off to Walker. Low ball Moses. Here's Barlow. Offload to Youngie. And now going almost there. He's stopped a metre shy. Great chase and tackle it was down there by guess who? Jai Gray. What a year he's having. What a game he's having. And it means his team remains in front. On the scoreboard, 20 points to 16. Luke Lewis, 2.5 minutes left.
He's had a great game. Jai Gray at fullback there. He's been absolutely brilliant with the ball in hand, but he's been amazing in defence. He's saved a couple of tries. Tallis Duncan in there as well. He's been great for South Sydney. But what got Parramatta down into this situation? Offloads. That is the key for Parramatta.
Still time left in the game yet for either side. Certainly for the Eels, who are defending this set now from South Sydney. 8 out from South's line. Munro slips into the contact there of Jack Williams, and he's slow getting up here. Ty Munro. Daniel in Newcastle says, interesting to see where Jai Gray features in Louis' 3-2-1. I'll give you some idea. I don't know what Louis is going to be thinking, but I reckon it'll be prominent, Jai Gray.
Well, he might as well throw it out there now. There's only, 2 minutes on the clock. Jai Gray for 3.
Jai Gray for 3. Yeah, he's had a great game, hasn't he? And, of course, the best of field play here wins the Eric Sims medal. Of course, to honour the 200-game fullback, 4-time premiership winner, and New South Wales and Australia representative, Eric Sims. The great fullback. Here they go, the South Sydney Rabbitohs. 2 minutes left in the game. Tackled their host. 20 in from the eastern side. And now Jai Arrow can zip away. Stands in the tackle of Tuolungi. And also out there, Hopgood. 25 out here. South to slow the play down for now. Minute 50 left here at the Sydney Football Stadium. Kepi up that right-hand side of the field. This will be last play South. So there'll be a set at least here for the Eels as they trail by 4 points. And now this kick from inside 40 from Walker. Trickles down there for Lomax. Scored 2 tries tonight here at the SFS. And now Lomax takes on the oncoming traffic there in Fletcher. And he'll play it now 40 out. This set imperative now for the Eels. Bantony swats away 1. Goes to ground though, 5 short of halfway. Minute 25 left here. Moses dummy half. Off now again to Barlaw. Through hands and now tackled. 5 inside South territory. Playing it now Hopgood. Dummy half to Silver. Runs the footy. Shares it with Walker. And now Papali away as well. Covered across there by Ward. 30 out, 20 in from the eastern side. This is second last play for Parramatta. Comes to the right-hand side, Moses. On in turn again here with Yongi, and now Bensony tackled. 20 out, 10 in from the western side. Last play, the Eels. Moses, cross-field bomb. They'll all chase it through now. It's going up and batted back. It's a loose ball. Souths get there first. Ref Jared Sutton says it will be penalty Parramatta. Well, this is big. 40 seconds left. Souths lead by 4 points, 20 to 16.
Time off.
Time off. 36 seconds on the clock. MC, down to you.
Yeah, Brandon Smith is milking it. He's trying to milk the clock, but 36 seconds left. They've got to come right.
They roll on here, the Eels. Walker off here to Barlaw. He's 5 out, right-hand side of the post. 30 seconds left here at the SFS. Souths by 4 points. To Silver at dummy half. Goes left-hand side. Moses. On in turn here again, Papali. Youngie, left-hand side. Oh, great tackle. Souths out there on ground. The footy comes loose. And Souths dive on it. And they will withstand with 13 seconds left. They lead 20 points to 16. 8 seconds. The crowd will count them down. South Sydney will have back-to-back wins in a tumultuous year. All kinds of injuries, all kinds of adversity. But they salute here in Indigenous round at home. That was mighty from South Sydney. A tough, hotly contested game, which the Eels led at half-time 12-10. But South pull it back, and they prevail here, Luke Lewis, to win 20 points to 16. What a game of footy.
Yeah, great game of football. I really enjoyed it. And I thought South Sydney, the start of this game, probably weren't at their best, but they worked their way back into it. And it was their goal line defence that really got them the win. They held on early. They come out in the second half. They held on. Then they started to make some inroads, come up with some really nice plays, scored a couple of really good tries through Tallis Duncan. And the inclusion there of Cody Walker, massive for South Sydney. Really good win, and back-to-back for them now. With all their injuries that they've had, their backs against the wall. Well done to South.
Unbelievable for the South Sydney Rabbitohs. Now 8 wins on the year in a tough year. 2 second-half tries for Tallis Duncan. He was fantastic. Munro and Mazellis also scored first-half tries for the Eels. Their 3 tries, but Yongi in the 24th and Zach Lomax scored another half as well. But in the end, they just saw it through South to win 20 points to 16 here at the Sydney Football Stadium. So we'll get some reaction from downstairs with Michael Carianis. And of course, here Ralph Tucker just looking around down there. And I'm sure that means plenty for South Sydney and their fans. 21,000 here tonight. A nice night for footy. And Jai Gray spoke to us on Thursday night about what it meant to get that win last week. And they win here at home in Sydney, which is great for their fans as well. So the players are shaking hands. There was a bit of feeling in that first half, a few reports made, but other than that, the game played in good spirits and were part of this great occasion, the Gadu Gathering, night 2 of this 3-day event at the Sydney Football Stadium. Capped off, I'm sure, by a win for the Cardinal and Myrtle. And South's players and fans are certainly enjoying this. You can keep your text coming, 0467 920 222, or read a few more of those out before we get off there in about half an hour's time. In the meantime, MC, it's down to you.
Just with South Sydney hooker Peter Mamazalas. Pete, what a performance from you guys defensively in particular. You were outstanding in that opening half.
Yeah, thank you, mate. We just kept turning up for each other. It's a special round for us boys, Indigenous round, so we wanted to put in a good performance for our fans.
What was it like? Some of those defensive efforts, I guess, of Jai Gray, particularly late in the game, to help you guys get the job done.
Yeah, that was huge. I just remember thinking to myself, how did he do that? That was crazy. But he just kept turning up for each other, and yeah, it's a good result for us.
Good to see smiles on your face. It's been a rough season, but finishing strong.
Yeah, it just shows we get a few trips back and things can shift for us. It's just been an unlucky year, so hopefully we want to finish the year strong and then build for next year.
Speaking of players back, Cody Walker had an immediate impact, didn't he, particularly with the ball?
Yeah, he was huge. From his first touch, he just makes such a difference to our team, so yeah, very grateful to have him back.
Enjoy the win, mate. Congratulations. Good luck for the back end of the year.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it.
Peter Mamazalas there with Michael Carianis at the Sydney Football Stadium after South beat the Parramatta Eels 20 points to 16. So a lot of the fans have stuck around, keen to celebrate this. Of course, there will be the presentation of the Eric Sims Medal for Best of Field, and we'll get some more reaction as well from the Eels camp now with UMC.
Yeah, just with back rower Jack Weir. Jack, I guess that's going to be a tough one to swallow for the boys.
Yeah, I mean, we just hurt ourselves and played the style of footy that they like to play, so it was very stop-start and just works in their favour. And as I said, we just hurt ourselves.
What was it like at half time? Because you guys had lots of opportunities, but just couldn't find a way to build a bit of momentum, I guess.
Yeah, it was pretty positive. I mean, we knew it was going to be tough. They've been hanging in there and defending really well. And I think with the slippery conditions, we're trying to go around them in that first half, and it just wasn't the play. And we thought if we just kept sticking at it and try and get them in a grind, it'd pay off in the end. But there's too many errors on our end and too many penalties coming out of yardage, so we just hurt ourselves.
There's been some positive vibes in the camp over the course of the season, but I guess with a performance like that, how do you try and finish the year on a strong note now?
Yeah, we've been building pretty positive the whole year, I think. Started off very slow, and then as we started getting a few guys back and having a few of young guys get more experience in the games, we've been going really well and building nicely. But yeah, I mean, we've had a tough month of football, and we've played really well until the last 10 or 15 minutes, and last week was sort of the most complete one we've had. And yeah, this game, it didn't show the past month that we've had in footy.
Good luck for the final few rounds, mate. Thanks for joining ABC.
Thank you, cheers.
Jack Williams there with Michael Carianis from the Parramatta Eels camp, Louis, and they'll be disappointed, of course, because they had opportunities, a couple of lead swings in that first half, and they led at half time as well, the Eels, but just outclassed by South because of the likes of Cody Walker and Jai Gray and Tallis Duncan in that second half.
Mate, they were all brilliant, the guys you just mentioned, but South Sydney hung in there pure off the back of their goal line defence, and I thought their defence was really, really good. Tyron Munro's defence in that defensive system out wide. He looked after Adokar brilliantly. So they all did their job. They wanted that win more than Parramatta did, and they get it. It was just a really good performance from South.
They had 51% possession, South Sydney. They had a better completion rate, 86%, with 6 handling errors in attack, and Para had 70% completion. So that sort of gives you some idea of how their night finished up and the difference, I suppose. There were 9 line breaks to 6 the Eels way, so they had better sort of edge play and attack, and also, I guess, to the middle as well, but didn't make the most of their opportunities. The Parramatta Eels, 17 errors all up, just to repeat that. Penalty count 9 for Parramatta, with a total of 6 set restarts to 1 South Sydney's way as well. Total of 6 reports made. 4 of those were Mitch Moses and Jacob Host, who had 2 each, and Kilma Tuolangi was the other one with, remind me, it's going to come to me, but I'll miss one in there somewhere. Presentation coming up shortly of the Eric Sims medal.
Who do you reckon gets it?
Jai Gray. Yeah, and I'd say that before I even heard your idea for the...
I reckon not my idea.
Maybe some. Anyway, MC, back down to you.
Yeah, Cody, got your young fella with you, and a pretty important day, pretty important game, pretty important round for you, but good to be back and playing some footy.
Yeah, obviously a special round for not only our club, but the NRL season as a whole. As you know, it's a pretty special round for myself personally. Just want to give a wrap to the whole NRL just for the last couple of weeks in celebrating such an important round for Aboriginal people, Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people across the country. So I just want to say on behalf of everyone at the club, thanks for the NRL for supporting rounds like this. It means a hell of a lot.
You wouldn't.
But yeah, on the back of that, I thought it was a pretty important win for our fans. It's been a difficult season in terms of haven't been getting the results we probably wanted, but it's important that we finish on a high for those guys. They've always come out in numbers. We're just so lucky that we've got supporters like that in our club, and I think for us it's just about finishing on a high just at the back end of the year. I know the season's already done, but it's important the next couple of rounds that we give the club and the staff and the supporters something to cheer about to lead into the back end of the year.
You wouldn't have started too many NRL games off the bench. How were you sitting on the sidelines?
Yeah, it was my first one in the NRL. I remember playing one game off the bench for Origin, but that was about it. I remember 10 minutes in, I was looking up at the coach's box thinking, give me on. But yeah, it was a different one. It was, just good to be back. Obviously, being as the round that it is, thought it was important to get back and help the team out.
How was the boys? Been a frustrating season for you, mate. You haven't missed a lot of footy over the last couple of years, but a frustrating one for you this year.
Yeah, it has been a frustrating year. I pride myself on being out there with my teammates, and this has been a difficult season for myself on a personal level, but I just want to get back and just help the team as much as I can and help the club win a few games leading into the back end of the year, and hopefully that gives our fans something to cheer about to lead into the pre-season and get us back to where we belong.
You had an immediate impact, mate. Well done. Enjoy the win and good to see you back out there.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate it.
Cody Walker there with MC, and thanks, MC. Come up here and join us in the post-game show here in the commentary box in the Ray Warren Media Centre at the Sydney Football Stadium. He was fantastic, Cody Walker. First game in 7 weeks from the hamstring. He had the other issue, was it the calf injuries, he had groin concerns, he had a lot of soft tissue injuries, and hasn't played much this year. It's his 9th game, but he was fantastic tonight, the veteran playmaker for South Sydney. So the presentation not too far away here for the Eric Sims medal, and that will be presented by Kathy Freeman and Craig Inglis. I think the South's staff have to go and round up the players and just make sure that everyone can come back and be there for the presentation, because we expect Jai Gray will receive that honour. Round the grounds quickly in the cricket. Australia and Parramatta South Africa 7 for 172. They are none for 24 in Cairns, and that is, I gather, in the, I want to guess, second or third over. I'm trying to think, maybe based on T20, that will be none for 39. In fact, they are Australia, and that is in the 5th over of the run chasing Cairns. AFL 3/4 time. Adelaide 46 leads Collingwood 44. Huge game there top of the table clash just about in the AFL. We'll recap, of course, the earlier games. Cronulla beat the Gold Coast by 54-22, and at Lang Park, Brisbane 38 over the Dolphins 28. So a full wrap of things with Ben Lauder, Dean Hallertau, Quentin Hull and Billy Moore on the day so far. Let's join our presentation on field with Luke Carroll.
What a victory that was! One more time, a big round of applause for our South Sydney Rabbitohs back at our heartland. We now have the presentation for the Eric Sims Medal, and we are honoured to have his children, Nathan and Chelsea, here to do the presentation along with his beautiful grandchildren. The Eric Sims Medal is given to the best player on the field tonight, and that honour goes to Tallis Duncan.
So Tallis Duncan with his 2 second-half tries approaches the microphone, receives that medal from one of the Sims grandchildren.
I just want to say thank you for everyone coming out. It was a bit of a war towards the end, and we pulled it through. We don't make it easy for ourselves, but we just try hard and we want to win. So thanks for everyone coming out. It was a special night, it was a special round, and we're just happy we can get it done for our community and this club.
Tallis Duncan with his 2 second-half tries there receives the Eric Sims Medal in 2025, and Souths win 20 points to 16. Luke Lewis, okay. Despite that, it went a different direction. It was still very good, but you gave your 3 to Jai Gray. Does that still stand?
Yeah, three to Jai Gray, and I went Tallis Duncan for 2 and Peter Marmazulis for 1.
Yes.
I thought they were really, really good tonight. I can understand Tallis Duncan again. He's a back row. He played out in the centre. He looked after Will Benson with ease. Come up with some really good one-on-one tackles. Come up with 2 great tries. That big play there from the kick that got him into position. Had a really good game as well. But I thought Jai Gray was absolutely outstanding at fullback. The try savers alone were absolutely mind-blowing. So, some really good performances. But well done to Tallis Duncan. Also, just well done to the whole South Sydney squad. They deserved that win tonight. They ripped in for each other and they got a good win.
Numbers Ellis below was the player on report in the second half. The 6th report that I missed in that little summary before. Bailey Bentley Harpay got a Category 1 head knock, so didn't take any further part from about the 10-minute mark of the game. And despite all that, South saw it through to win 20 points to 16. Having a look at where it puts them, I don't fancy they will quite topple the Eels based on for and against, but South Sydney will slide up now to 14th from 16th. So they'll sit now ahead of the Cowboys and the Knights, who of course play each other tomorrow. And it makes things a bit harder now for the Gold Coast Titans, who were thumped earlier in a carve-up by the Sharks, and we'll have more on that game very, very shortly as well. 0467 920 222. Let's, in fact, bring you the summary of that game, as we heard it earlier, just a feeding frenzy from the Sharks. After a fairly slow first half, they won in the end 54 to the Titans 22, and Glenn Lauder filed this wrap.
Yes, Briggy, the Titans actually had a 10 points to 4 lead at one stage in the first half, but after that, the Cronulla Sharks ran riot. They scored 4 more tries in the second quarter of the first half, that final 20 minutes of the first half. They led 28 points to 10 at half-time. And then we heard Kieran Foran in the post-game talking about how the Cronulla Edges just tore Gold Coast apart in the start of the second half. It was pretty relentless from the Cronulla Sharks. The Titans finished off pretty well, but the damage was well and truly done. 54-22. Dean Hallertau was watching it alongside me, and the Sharks really did just split the Titans open time after time.
Yeah, they did. And look, there was some really distinct sections of the game, that the opening period, and where the Titans looked like they turned up with a good attitude, and the crowd went quiet when they snuck in front. But then the Sharks started pouring the points on, and it was, as you said, the second part of the first half and then the first part of the second half.